And a good morning to you here from Hooters on iDrive. We are live from iDrive. You know that all week long. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on site, on location at Hooters on 8801 International Drive in Orlando, Florida. And you know that Florida is my second home, second hub of the show, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. This is the Florida in Focus week, and we are bringing you into the college football and NFL season. I want to thank Tim, Farron, Jeff, the entire team here at Hooters for all that they've done to help set us up and get us ready for football season. It's my honor and my privilege to get us ready for football season. And since PJ's in the building, I had to break out one of my shirts that I had here, which Farron also appreciates. The Gators.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
We got the Gators. I mean, if you see this like a Hooters booth here and everything set up, it almost looks like a commitment booth.
It does.
So if I came up here and said, "Is this me committing to the Florida Gators?" So there you go. So we got a nice show coming up here with Papa Joe. You know that he's here with us every single Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We changed our times this week for our Florida in Focus live from iDrive week because we're on site, on location. Thank you, Chris Stoll. So we're here live on location here at Hooters iDrive, and because they open at 11, we start at 11. So as soon as they open their doors, people waiting outside ready to come in, we were sitting here ready in the Hooters booth on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And as I've told you all week long, there's nobody that makes a better Arnold Palmer than Hooters. I finally found it. And I'm not saying that because I'm here. I'm saying it because I've legitimately ordered 2 a day for the last multiple days.
A what?
This is an Arnold Palmer.
Meaning?
Sweet tea and lemonade together.
And this is Pepsi.
So my Arnold Palmer is fantastic here this morning. PJ's in the flesh. Papa Joe, how are we?
Good, Daniel. We had a nice trip coming over. Traffic's a bear, but we had GPS. We drove right to the spot. Yeah.
So
I got my little buggy.
Yeah, you got your buggy sitting here now.
It's called Jazzy Joe.
I like it, Jazzy Joe.
Jazzy Joe,
nice.
That's the name.
I like that it has a name.
I go everywhere in it.
Yeah, good stuff. So happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Happy to have you in the flesh. We're both wearing some Tommy Bahama today, so we're smelling good today. We got a lot to get into in the preview of the college football and NFL season. I want to give Tim Baum all the thanks in the world that he said that this week of Wake Up Call at Hooters iDrive was meant to be the official football kickoff week. So he has entrusted myself and all my guests this week to bring us into the college football and NFL seasons with great discussion.
Okay.
And I look forward to having that here today. So the college football expansion of the playoff. Now, you and I have talked about the college football playoff many times.
Many times.
There's 4 spots. Here's how the 4 spots typically go. Alabama, another SEC team, Clemson, and an open spot.
Right.
So from year to year, the Big 12, the Big 10, and the Pac-12 only have 1 spot to try and take.
That's right.
So down here in Florida with UCF, who's done so well over the recent history, they have been banging the drum that they deserve to get in. Cincinnati this past year banged the drum that they should get in with Luke Fickell, who came from Ohio State as a coordinator.
Right.
I said the best bet for the American Athletic Conference to get in is for the quote-unquote Power 5 to complain enough. While the Pac-12, Oregon, Stanford, USC, the Big 12, besides Oklahoma, the Texases and the Oklahoma States and whatnot, banging on the door. Ohio State has gotten in sometimes, but the Big Ten has a reason with Michigan and Wisconsin and some other teams to bang that drum as well, that we've gotten to a place that the best help of the American Athletic Conference was not the American Athletic Conference.
Right.
The best help to my guy Mike Oresco and the crew was for the Power 5 to complain enough, and I think they have.
I think they have too. And I'm not so sure I like the 12 teams, Daniel.
Okay.
The four wasn't going to work anyway, because you can't have 2 SEC teams every year and make fun of the rest of the country. It's not going to work. I'd like to see somewhere around 6 to 8. Yeah. I'm not so sure the 12 is going to work. The reason I say that is because, look, these are supposed to be, quote, student athletes. How in the hell are you going to get your education done when you play 11 or 12 game season?
Yeah.
Then you've got 4 more playoff games. when are you going to study? When are you going to put your papers in? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? If you even graduate. So I have a problem with that. So we need to expound on that. I don't know if there's any common ground at all, but it seems to me that you go from 4 to 12. There's got to be some place in the middle that would be concur with everyone and get your AAF in there too. Common ground at all.
Yeah, you know, and I think what it comes down to, for me, is, I mean, you bring up how will they be able to go to school and do what they need to do and graduate on time. What I think is, because there's already a month in between when they're trying to get everything set, you can utilize that time in the season to have the games be played. And the way that it kind of works out is, okay, so you play 12 regular season games, and if you're in your conference championship, you play 13, right? Mm-hmm. If you're in 12 and you have a bye for certain teams in there, you may end up playing 14, 15 games and stay on the same line. So I think if you space it out enough and you do it in such a way, and maybe instead of practicing for 3.5 weeks, you only practice for 2.5 weeks, and then you play, I don't think it's going to take too much away from school for them. And I always bring up the basketball side of things. You got to think about it. When you talk about how do these, college football student athletes get their schoolwork done, well, for college basketball, they're playing from October to April.
Right.
So, that's a lot longer, and it's in 2 semesters. So I think football will figure it out.
Basketball only got 10 or 12 players, 13 players.
Yeah.
You're carrying 100 kids on a football team.
Yeah.
The ones that we follow, and the Floridas and the Alabamas and things like that. I wish they wouldn't. I wish they would have thought about it a little bit more. I'm not sure it's going to pass. It looks like it's going to pass. And let's face it. We always talk about this. We always bring up the one main subject. That's money.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna look at the rest of the schools that could make up the other 8 teams, they want a piece of the pie. They want some of that ESPN money. They want some of that NBC money. I don't blame them for trying to go to 12, but I just don't see it working. I think it's a little bit too aggressive to start out.
See, I think they should go to 12 because of the model. If the model stands and they're going to take the top 6 conference champion winners from the championship games, if you're going to take the top 6, then that would mean the American would probably get in.
Yeah.
Because the American Athletic Conference champion, Cincinnati, UCF, Memphis, whoever, they would move forward. So that would mean that the Pac-12 champion, the Big 12 champion, the Big 10, the ACC, the SEC, and the American would all have automatic bids.
Right.
Then the next 6 would be the next 6 in the rankings, which we know the College Football Playoff Committee is already going to dilute those rankings with SEC and whatever and whatnot. But this is the other thing. We talked about this week with the rankings. If you have – see, the College Football Playoff ranking system, when that group gets together to rank – and they put UCF, they start them at 18. Mm-hmm. They do that for a reason.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to jump them from 18 to 4.
Right.
They're not going to argue them up 14 spots.
No, they're not.
So they say, oh, well, how could we let them in? They were ranked 18th, but you ranked them 18th. You put them in that spot.
Right.
So I think when you start off the rankings and you put the teams in certain places, you set up Ohio State last year. When they hadn't played a game, they were 6th in the nation. So
ridiculous.
I don't think you can say, well, we're going off the rankings and we can't do this and we can't move that and we can't justify that, because you're creating the blueprint to get the teams there that you want to get there, and then you're complaining that the blueprint isn't working in favor of UCF and whatnot. You're setting them up to fail.
But there's a fly in the ointment, and that is COVID. Now, if we thought we had it licked, it didn't work out. Now the whole nation, including Florida's leading the country in a number of new cases.
Yeah.
Now, how can you justify having these kids go back to school, study, practice, travel, and play when there's a COVID out here? I don't like it. I don't like the 12 teams set up. I would say stick with 4, maybe go to 6. Gradually go into it. You don't have to jump in from 4 to 12 just to appease the AAC.
Well, and I don't think it is at all to appease the AAC. I think if anything, it's so the SEC can get 6 teams in. That's what I think they're trying to do. I think right now what they're essentially looking to do is, put in Florida, Alabama, maybe Auburn, Texas A&M, LSU, Georgia.
Right.
That's your 6.
Right.
And and I think you can't stay at 4 because you can argue the last couple of years, and with Dan Mullen getting better with the Gators, you can actually argue that the SEC, outside of Clemson, that the SEC deserves every spot.
Oh, that's really good. That's nice. That's nice of you to say. But I think that the Dabo's up there. He's looking around. He's looking at the other teams. He's following what's happening. He's reading the internet. He's listening to you, and he seems to think that there's some other teams out there in the ACC that are going to challenge him this year. And if you remember 2 years ago, I told you that not last year, not this year, but next year, Mike Norvell from FSU will have a quasi-championship run.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job there. He's number 9 in the recruiting standings right now. Florida's 14, Clemson's 10. So they haven't really shucked and jived yet. But Mike Norvell is a very cagey guy. He knows what he's doing. He's a good motivator, and he can reach the kids. He's like the same. Look, just like Dabo Swinney and just like Lou Saban, he can go into Mama's, Grandma's kitchen and sit at the table with a cup of tea and try to talk her into letting her have his grandson. So these guys are first class, and I think the ACC this year will probably be just Clemson and everyone else. But next year, I look for that to change.
Well, and I get to vote in the ACC preseason poll, and shout out to Miss Mary, who's also in the building at Hooters I Drive, because she is a Seminole.
Oh my goodness!
Get a little bit of that on the TV.
Geez.
So
my
hey, so but the reality, in my mind, so when we're voting, you see what the majority of the media votes. We all get our individual vote, and then they give us the group.
Right.
So I voted Clemson on the Atlantic side, North Carolina on the Coastal to play in the championship. Battle of the Carolinas, Clemson wins. But the majority of the media picked NC State, who I respect, and Dave Doran, who I love, and I was surprised they picked them so high. They picked them second. I picked Florida State to finish second this year with Mike Norvell behind Clemson. Now, that still could mean 7 or 8 wins, but I have them second.
Yeah.
And so, because first and foremost, that's how I could justify it. And I can't rank anything unless I can truly see it. I can't just write it. I got Syracuse 6th out of 7, and it's my hometown. But Florida State, to me, I had Mike Norvell for 4 years at Memphis. He only sent guys to the NFL. That's all he did. He sent running backs pretty much every single year. Antonio Gibson, Darrell Henderson, all those guys are out there now. And so Florida State, to me, I think, with NC State, who I think will be pretty good, BC will be better, but I think Wake Forest will struggle. I think Syracuse will struggle, and I think Louisville will struggle too. So that's why Florida State is where they are. And, of course, where your bread's buttered. My best friend's Evan, and Mary T is the best. So got to take care of business. So, but I think Florida State's got some good stuff coming up here. Now, Greg, who listens every single week, he put PJ live and in person at the Hooters I Drive studio. Love it. And then my man Ewan said, Mackenzie going to make some noise for the Noles. FSU going to be back on the map. Mackenzie Milton, who I covered at UCF, is now the potential quarterback of FSU with the fact, they have Jordan Travis already, but they're probably going to use them both.
Mackenzie Milton is in a dangerous situation, just like Alex Smith was for the Redskins. He's a smart young man. He's a good man, good kid, good football player. But he's going to be a shell of what he used to be. I don't see him. I wish him luck. I wish him luck because he was a hell of a player when I saw him at UCF. But he's, all it takes is one bad hit, Daniel, and he's back down. I don't see him leading in a high-powered offensive team the way FSU is going to have this year. I wish him luck. I hope he's okay. But it's a little scary to me. I'm glad that Alex Smith made the right move by actually saying, "Look, I'm retiring. I did what I wanted to do. I came up off the mat. I got myself put together. I played."
Yeah.
How many people could say that? Mackenzie Milton has a chance to say that also.
Well, yeah. Mackenzie Milton has a chance to go out on his own the way that he wants to, and not the world's, not an injury dictating it, and that's how you want to go. You want to leave when you're good and ready, not when, something happens out of your control. So it's my hope that things are going to work out in his favor. I think they're going to use Jordan Travis and Mackenzie Milton. I'm going to enjoy watching FSU on Saturdays because I honestly think they're going to have some fun with both of those guys. And I got to interview them both at the ACC kickoff as well this year. So.
Well, they'll see. We'll see how good they are at the end of the year. You know, there's a little game that comes around, Florida State. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Florida State. I think this year it's in Gainesville. Is it in Gainesville
Probably,
this year?
I don't know.
I think so. Or is it in Tallahassee this year?
No, I think we were in Tallahassee last year. But anyway, Mike Norvell's got to have faster guys. He's got to have bigger guys. He's got to have smarter guys.
Yeah.
Because Dan Mullen's going to have it all. I talk about Florida. We're not ready to talk about Florida yet, but I do have some surprises from the Gator side.
Yeah.
And one of them is second quarterback. His name is Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
He's a kid, actually a local kid from Gainesville, and he's a big kid, 6'3", 220. A bigger version of Emory Jones, and Emory Jones is going to be a killer this year. Yeah. I've been telling you that for 2 years. Yeah. Wait till you see this kid play football. And Anthony Richardson is a bigger version of Emory Jones.
Okay.
May not be as fast, but Dan Mullen will never be without points. Now defense, that's Grantham's deal.
That's the question.
You better make it good.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully Grantham will figure it out.
Right.
So, you ready to come on? All right.
Hi.
No, you can just come.
She want to sit here?
Yeah, she's going to come right here. So, all right. All right, so we have a guest. We've been featuring you can sit right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we've been featuring the Hooters girls here of iDrive all throughout the week here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, our Florida in Focus week. And so tell everybody your name.
Josephina.
Josephina, first time you've been here on the show with us.
Yes.
So, are you a fan of any of the Florida teams? You could say no.
That's embarrassing.
You can say no, it's fine.
No, I mean, actually, recently I saw the Bucks one, so that made me happy.
Okay. All right, yeah, the Bucks actually doing very well with Tom Brady and company. But outside of the world of sports, here on Wake Up Call, we talk about where sports meets life. So, music, we've talked to all the girls about favorite music.
I like a mixture of everything. I don't have anything specific.
If there was 3 concerts you could go see this summer, and you had to choose, what would you go see?
I would see Lana Del Rey. That's one.
Okay.
Rihanna.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of hers. And then probably A$AP Rocky.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Rihanna's. I mean, of all of those, I respect them all, but Rihanna's got something special, and I feel like we're due something new from Rihanna. Like it's been too long.
Oh, definitely.
So she needs to get angry about something and put something out there.
Hopefully her and A$AP Rocky break up, and that's what it is. That's what it took.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. But I will say that Better Have My Money. That is a song that I like to play from Rihanna. When little joke that I have with my buddy Evan. So movie-wise, what are you watching?
My favorite movie is The Great Gatsby. I saw it yesterday. I saw it like 3 times.
Okay. So you saw it. Had you seen it before yesterday?
Yep.
Okay. So how many times have you watched it all together? You said 3 times, but
3 times yesterday.
3 times yesterday. Okay. Okay.
Probably about 1,000 times.
Really?
Yeah.
And the new one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
That one.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Did you read the book or no?
I did in high school.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Did you watch the movie because of the book, or did you watch the movie just?
So I told you I read it in high school. It did catch my interest, and it was around that time that the new movie was coming out anyway. So I would just, I guess I can just watch it, and actually put a movie to the book, and I just loved it even more. And
you've watched it 1,000 times. Why do you like it so much?
Because I like the storyline of it.
Okay.
It was very intense. Intensing. Intense.
You don't know where it's going to go really in it, which is really, and for the people that read the book, I think the great thing about it is you picture it in your mind and it kind of brings you on this trail. Yeah. But when you see the movie, it puts you in a different world.
Yeah, it does. That's why I love it. I'm like, wow, this is beautiful.
No, it was very good. So besides The Great Gatsby, what else are you watching?
So I like older movies. I like the movie Gone with the Wind. I like romantic movies. But if you want to talk about comedy, my favorite comedy is I like Adam Sandler a lot. So I don't know if I can I like Anger Management.
That's a very good movie, yeah, with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Cinderella's being released on the remake on September 2nd.
Oh.
The new, oh yeah.
Yeah, Cinderella has done the
Mary
Aladdin.
T. I gotta watch it with Mary T.
Aladdin live action. Cruella was very good.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Cruella was good. Yeah.
Okay.
So Emma Stone, who actually did that one.
Nice.
So you said Adam Sandler movies. Mm-hmm. Have you seen them all?
I would say I've seen most of them.
Okay.
I can kind of list some of them. I've seen like Big Daddy, Waterboy. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry,
That's a
and
good one,
I like that there was like Hooter girls in it, so that made it even nicer.
Yes, that was a good one.
So I liked it. I love him. He's so funny.
And in Big Daddy, they shout out for the first 10 minutes of the movie, they shout out my hometown, Syracuse. Yeah. He's wearing the shirt. He talks about going up to Syracuse. And for whatever reason, he spent a lot of time talking about Syracuse in that movie, which is really cool.
Nice.
So, a question from Papa J.
Cinderella seems like it's going to be Cinderella, right?
That's what he's on.
That's September 2nd. It's going to be released.
But you said you like old time movies,
Oh,
so
I do.
and
I read,
you do and you both do.
I actually read old time authors, probably like Raymond Chandler,
Yeah,
Rex Stout, Mickey Spillane. You probably don't know. You know who those guys are? Okay.
I don't know. I don't.
They wrote,
I know the old movie. I know like the Humphrey Bogarts and
well,
the.
this goes back in the
yeah.
same pre-1940.
Yeah.
Just great reading, and some of the books were made into fabulous movies like Key Largo with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall.
Yeah. Cary Grant, that's a
Yeah,
good one to see if you like old
anything
movies.
old.
Actor.
I love it. Even the grainy black and white ones.
Yeah.
I love the black and white ones.
So you need to watch The Maltese Falcon, and you need to watch On the Waterfront.
Maltese Falcon is unbelievable. I just finished that book.
Yeah. So if you like old movies like that, Maltese Falcon's with Humphrey Bogart, and On the
Casablanca.
Waterfront is one of the best movies with Marlon Brando, who is the Godfather.
Okay, yep.
Casablanca.
Yeah, and Casablanca.
Nice.
So
Okay.
there's a final piece that we'll have with you, Josefina, and that is that it's called Rapid Fire, where you get to put us on the hot seat, and you get to ask us a question that we have to answer on live video and audio. So you can ask Papa Joe one question, and you can ask me one question, and we have to answer it. And you can ask PJ first.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
Don't ask me how old I am.
All right. Let's see. What's the most embarrassing thing that happened to you?
Oh,
Wow.
getting married the first time.
Huh?
Getting married the first time.
Getting married the first? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not Miss Mary over here. That's not Mary. No.
Come here.
No.
No.
That's not Miss Mary.
Oh, okay.
All right. I like it. Good answer. We're starting hot out of the gate. I like it.
Man.
All right. What's your one for me?
Ooh, okay. So,
Take notes now.
what was your favorite location to do the podcast? Have
Oh,
if
anywhere in the country?
Yeah, like wherever you.
That's tough. Well, it's been awesome here because Tim and Jeff and Farron and everyone we've worked with here has been awesome. And I started working with Hooters 11 years ago when they were at Port Orlando. So I would say the team is great here and the company corporately is really well put together. Outside of this, I would say my favorite place to broadcast. I've been in so many cities up and down the East Coast, and we've been to Toronto.
My Mustang.
I would say, yeah, you know what? Let's talk about that. So so Papa Joe and Mary collect old-time cars, and they trick them up and refurbish them and get them back looking beautiful. And I did a live broadcast from inside of a Prairie Bronze Mustang.
Oh,
65
wow.
Mustang.
1965. So I got to actually sit in the car and have that be my studio for an hour,
Wow.
which was really cool. So I'd probably say that, and being able to do the show live from Toronto because I'm a Raptors fan.
Nice.
So with that being said, Josephina, good questions.
Yeah.
I liked it, and I love the old movie stuff and Great Gatsby. Big shout out to that today. Thank you so
Well,
much.
nice.
you.
Nice to meet
Bye
you
now.
guys.
Thank you. We'll talk with you soon.
Yep.
So we'll be doing this throughout the show. We've done it throughout the week to feature the Hooters girls here at iDrive, as we are live from iDrive with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Happy to be here with you, Florida in Focus. You got asked a tough. I've been asked some tough ones this week, but you got the hitter today.
Oh.
You got the hitter.
Yeah.
Now, if I had been asked your question,
Yeah, you wouldn't say that.
oh, Mary knows I would have attacked that one. So, I want to one after that. How much time we got? So
I do have to apologize to everyone that's watching and listening because we didn't have anything to eat, and I was just nibbling on a English muffin here. So
you're okay.
I'm sorry if I'm eating on the air.
No, you're okay.
I'm starving to death.
No, that's totally fine. And so we're here with Papa Joe, hanging out here at Hooters iDrive. Come out and see us, 8801 International Drive in Orlando. And, of course, you are watching on Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, and you're listening on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on the homepage of WakeUpCallDT.com. Our normal times are Monday through Friday, 9 to 11, and this entire week we've shifted to 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time so that we could open our broadcast the moment the doors open here at Hooters of iDrive. So we thank you for being here. We're going to take a quick step aside. PJ and I got plenty more to talk about. We're going to jump back into the Gators conversation. And we're going to, because, I've had some Gator fans saying, I don't really know what the team's going to be like. You were talking about Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson. Yeah. We're going to get back into the quarterback situation, back into the Gators, and then we're going to talk about the storied rivalry of Florida State and how I bought Miss Mary a Florida State Seminole mug so that when she drinks coffee with you in the morning, she can low-key say nothing but show you the tomahawk chalk. So we'll be back here right after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Stay with us.
How are your partners doing? They know you're down here?
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on site, on location at the Hooters iDrive here in Orlando, Florida, 8801 International Drive, right here. And if you don't know International Drive, I mean, it's the place. It's seriously, there are things up and down International Drive. It goes on forever, and so many awesome places. This Hooters location is my favorite. And I'm not saying that because I'm here. I'm saying it because I love the layout. I love that when you walk in, everything's a focal point. Of course, I'm a fan of the orange because that's my hometown, and the fact that Hooters is all orange, and I might have to steal the orange beautiful table cover that they have here for us.
Right.
But I'm loving it. We got the orange owl behind us, and we're having a great time. So I love setting up shop here and hope to continue to be able to do that for you here, folks. Florida in Focus Week, college football, and the NFL season being brought to you in kickoff week by Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora live from iDrive. And we're here today with the man, the myth, the legend, Papa Joe. You were talking, before we had Josephina on, we were talking about the Florida Gators and their quarterback situation. I've ironically been kind of asked recently about what the Gators look like this year and, some question at quarterback. So let's go back into that, and what can you tell us?
Well, there's not a lot coming out of school. You just got to dig for it, though. But Emory Jones is certainly going to be handed the keys to the machinery. But Anthony Richards is not very far behind. Got a report yesterday after reading it on the internet that he had a really good practice, hitting too. So he's a big, taller version of Emory Jones, and he's going to be a killer. Actually, I think he's a redshirt freshman. But anyway, Florida's going to be loaded in the backfield.
Yeah,
they got 2 5-star transfers. One of them is Lorenzo Lingard. I think he came from Miami. The other one I can't remember, but I have to dig it up. But anyway, there's 2 of them, and they're both fighting for Perrine, to back up Perrine, who's going to be the major ball carrier. Dan Mullen is going to spread things around. Emory Jones is not going to sit back there all day like Trask did. That's not the way he plays football. Now, Anthony Richards is a different deal. So if Mullen wants to mix it up, he can bring Emory Jones is going to run the team. And then Anthony will come in and do his thing. So it's going to be a quasi kind of run this, sit back here, run this, sit back here.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson is far better drop back passer than Emory Jones. But Emory Jones is so friggin' scary when he has the ball in his hands. He's an enormous, unbelievable athlete. And the country really hasn't seen him. He played a little bit 2 years ago. Last year, backing up Kyle Trask, he played garbage time,
Yeah.
But this kid has got a big time arm, and his feet are unbelievable. So I think even the fans that don't like Florida are going to enjoy watching Emory Jones.
Yeah, and Emory Jones coming to us from LaGrange, Georgia, and Anthony Richardson is a Gainesville native, coming from East Side. So
and he
Gainesville,
was a 3-star athlete too.
Yeah. Well,
Figure that one out.
Well, and that's the thing is you never know what you're going to get as far as the stars. And I always think the star system is messed up anyways, because if you're one of the players that isn't readily seen, then sometimes that affects your star rating.
Right.
If you're a great tight end, but you're in Wyoming and your family doesn't have the money to get out there and nobody's coming to see you and you're not going to camps, you might be a 5-star, but they're giving you one, you know what I mean? So, and there might be some 5-star guys that you're better than that should be 4s. Right. And so I think that, the system is not foolproof.
Right.
But when it comes to bringing in good players, we know that Florida knows what they're doing in that respect.
Dan Mullen is an extremely good recruiter. He's a top-flight motivator. He's sort of like Steve Spurrier without the good old boy attitude to him. He's just that way.
Yeah.
But he demands perfection, just like Urban did. My poor Gators. I don't want to talk about them now. I'll start crying if I talk about them now. But anyway, the other running back I'm thinking about is DeMarcus Bowman, who is another 5-star athlete. I think he came from Georgia. Or Clemson. No, he came from Clemson. So both of these guys, they either didn't fit in, or maybe they had to go back to school and bring their grades up or something.
Yeah.
Both of them will be in the backfield for Florida this year, behind Pierce. Pierce is going to get most of the carries because he's a senior, and he's been there for. I think he's a redshirt senior too, but he's a top-flight running back. Look, Florida always has what we call NFL talent. And I think the nation's going to see that. They've seen 3 years of Dan Mullen. They know what he can do. Taking someone off the scrap heap like Kyle Trask, who gutted it out for 5 years, folks.
Yeah.
5 years at Florida to play quarterback and then go to the NFL. He was recruited out of Texas as a 2-star athlete.
Yeah.
He says, I don't care. I could have stayed in Texas or SMU.
Yeah.
He says, I want to go to Florida. I want to go to Florida. That's where I'm going to be. And, of course, Mullen saw that, and he said, just scarfed the guy right up and said, you're going to be my man. And he is, and he did. And look what he's doing now. He didn't have too good of a game with Tampa last week, but Kyle Trask will take over for Tom Brady. I'll guarantee you that. Anyway, watch these two 5-star running backs in action. And when you see them, you'll understand what we're talking about. Florida's offense is going to be explosive this year. Copeland, I think, is going to be their number one receiver. He can get up and go. So, hopefully everyone stays healthy. Hopefully the offensive line stays healthy. Protect these guys, open the holes for these guys. College football is so much different than pro football. That it's just more fun to watch. I mean, we'll get into Urban Meyer later, but Urban, he wanted to move things fast.
Yeah.
He wanted fast athletes, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, he wanted to move fast. But I'll get into that later on. But Mullen will be able to do that now with Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson because Kyle Trask was not that way. Kyle Trask was a drop-back passer, big guy, 6'6", and he could look over the field. These guys are a little bit smaller and a lot more dangerous.
We got the preseason rankings here for the SEC. In the East, the Georgia Bulldogs picked first, then Florida Gators, then the Kentucky Wildcats, then Tennessee, then Missouri, then South Carolina.
Josh Heupel.
Yeah, Josh Heupel there.
Watch him.
So number 4, Missouri 5, South Carolina 6, Vandy 7 is what we have here for the rankings. What are your thoughts on your Gators being picked behind Georgia, number 2 in the East?
They deserve to be 2 because they haven't been good enough to be number 1.
Yeah.
When you play in the SEC, and you've heard me for years preach the same thing. You better bring your A game when you play Florida or LSU or anyone. You just got to bring your A game, and Florida will be able to do that. But they got to be able to beat Georgia at the neutral field, which I call the outside cocktail party, which is the old Gator Bowl. It'll always be the Gator Bowl to me. I don't know what they call it now, but it's the outdoor cocktail party. When I was in my fraternity years ago, and we'd always tailgate there and drink like hell and then go watch football. Who cared about the football game? And I watched Steve Spurrier play back then. So, but these guys are going to bring it. They're really going to bring it. I'm happy for it.
Looking at the west side of things, Alabama obviously picked to finish last. No, I'm kidding. So Alabama picked to finish first. Behind Alabama, Texas A&M, and everything that Jimbo Fisher has done with them. From there, LSU, Auburn, Ole Miss, and the Lane Train. Mississippi State and Arkansas. Thoughts on the fact that they believe that Texas A&M will be pulling up right behind Alabama like they actually finished last year?
Ain't going to happen. Texas A&M is not going to have a quarterback like Kellen Mond for 4 years. The guy was their offense.
Yeah.
Texas A&M will not beat LSU, and they will not beat Alabama. So you can throw darts at me if you want on that. But Alabama's not even a top 15 for recruiting this year.
Yeah. They
lost almost their entire defensive team.
Yeah.
They come back with all these 4 and 5 stars. They're knocking the heck out of everyone there. The news out of there is good. It's fast. I don't even know who the quarterback's going to be, but Nick Saban just plugs him in. He plugs him in and off he goes.
Well, and that's the thing. In Alabama, I mean, they had Tua, they had Jalen Hurts, and they had Mac Jones. And all those guys at one point were in the same building, and now Tua is the starter for Miami. Mac Jones, by week 7, in my belief, will be the starter for the Patriots.
I agree with that.
And then, you have Jalen Hurts, who is the starter for Philadelphia. So you're going to have the teams that are in, or the quarterbacks, the 3 quarterbacks that were in the Alabama room are all going to be starting quarterbacks in the NFL this year.
Right. Mac Jones has really looked good in the preseason. The old Grumpy Lobster Boat captain is taking things really slow with him, though.
Yeah.
I think Cam Newton, he deserves to be there. I mean, he was a conference MVP several years ago. So he's fallen on hard times. But he's going to be given a quick hook because this guy Mac Jones is really, really, really good. You know, he didn't look that good. I can't say he didn't look that good. I mean, he was good when we were watching him for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But putting in a situation where there's other pro players around him, he makes the transition smooth. I mean, he's super. He's super. Throws the ball well, runs when he has to. So, you know, Cam, you better watch out, buddy.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing with Cam Newton is I just don't see him staying as the main guy. I see him being a weapon. I see him being a decoy. I see him being a wildcat. He's also older in his career.
Yeah.
So, and what do you think about Bill Belichick making Mac Jones, his rookie quarterback, wear the number 60? It's like he gave him a lineman's number. Like, what is the Bill Belichick mind game of making somebody that's your quarterback wear number 60?
No one has been able to figure out Bill Belichick going back 25 years when he was with the Jets.
Yeah.
You know, he's just an extraordinary person. Brady leaves. He gets up there at his reviews, his interviews, you know.
Yeah.
He didn't even blink. He just said, well, we got to do this. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be looking at this. You know, forget Tom Brady. I mean,
yeah.
that's his attitude. I mean, he's another guy that simply plugs players in. And I wouldn't be surprised that maybe not this year, if Cam Newton can stay healthy, maybe next year when Mac Jones takes over, maybe he'll have a championship team.
Week 7, Mac Jones takeover. I'm going to say it over and over again. Mac Jones will be taking over this team in Week 7 is my belief. Realignment in the college football world. I wrote an article about it. It's on the front page of wakeupcalldt.com. It's the top article, and it says the fall of the Big 12, what realignment could look like. Follow the bouncing ball on this. Take notes at home if you need to. We are live from iDrive. This is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, on-site on location, Hooters iDrive, 8801 International Drive in Orlando, Florida. For Florida in Focus Week, getting ready for the college football and NFL seasons, and being joined by the Hooters girls all throughout the week here at iDrive that you can come out and see. So, Realignment, the article that I wrote, is the dissolving of the Big 12. And
now, how did you come up with that first?
That they would dissolve?
Yeah.
With Oklahoma and Texas
right.
leaving, it leaves them with 8 teams.
Okay.
And I feel like this isn't enough. So I think with this not being enough, that there's a time where, you know, I don't see the Big 12 surviving this. And because they would have to pull more. They already had to get a waiver to have a championship game because they had 10 teams. And for those playing the home game, the Big 12 has 10, which makes no sense, and they will have 8. The Big 10 has 14, and the Pac-12 used to be the Pac-10, but now they're the Pac-12 because they have 12. So with Oklahoma and Texas in 2025, they'll be going quicker than that. But in 2025, when Oklahoma and Texas go to the SEC, I have prognosticated that the Pac-12 will become the Pac-15, and they will take Kansas, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State. Because Colorado's in the Pac-12 by its lonesome and has nobody in its region to play against. The Big Ten will take Iowa State for their rivalry with Iowa that they already have. By taking Iowa State, they're not going to want to be uneven at 15, so they will give Maryland back to the ACC. Maryland will join the Atlantic Division with Syracuse and BC and all that and stay in the Northeast. West Virginia will go to the ACC, and they will join Pittsburgh in the Coastal Division and have rivals Pittsburgh and Syracuse, which means the ACC will have 16 schools. The Pac-12 will have 15. The Big Ten will have 14 still. The SEC with Oklahoma and Texas will have 16. And the American Athletic Conference that had TCU when they were the Big East, before realignment reared its ugly head, TCU will now, after they had already had the conversation with Mike Oresco when he was the Big East commissioner, they will now officially join the American, which is the old Big East, and Texas Tech and Baylor will join with them, giving the American Athletic 5 Texas schools, and they just moved their offices during the pandemic to Irving, Texas.
Oh, my goodness.
So the American Athletic will have 14. Or pardon me, yeah, they have 11 now. Yeah, so the American Athletic will have 14. The Pac-12 will be the Pac-15. The Big Ten will have 14 still. The ACC and the SEC will have 16. The Big 12 will be gone, and the American will get what they have always wanted, which is they will become part of the autonomy group.
That's very good, Daniel. I would have never thought about all that. I don't know how you could think about all that. I don't know. My mind doesn't think that fast. All I can think about is that Oklahoma is going to be in the SEC East, and Texas is going to be in the SEC West, and they're going to be knocking everyone's brains out. You know, you mentioned it before that the SEC could be a mini NFL, and that's essentially what it's going to look like with Texas and Oklahoma. So, I like your configuration. You think it'll work?
I do, and I think no matter what, TCU, if they do leave the Big 12, they will go to the American. And I think that because the TCU is already playing the Houstons, and they're already playing teams inside of the American Athletic. I think Texas Tech benefits because they're a team that has struggled over the years, and I think Baylor benefits because Baylor already understands the talent of the AAC because they took Matt Rule from Temple. He was the coach there before he went to the Carolina Panthers last year. Right. So now the question is, with the American East and the American West, does the American Athletic, when they go back to divisions now, having 14 schools arguably, do they put all 5 Texas schools in the same division and make a Texas versus everybody else, or do they split them up?
Yeah, they split them up, Daniel. How can it be 5? Like, say there's five in the East, no one in the West. I mean, somehow you got to split them up. But you know, now you're talking logistics here. I mean,
yeah,
you know, you'd be traveling all over the country for these people. You know, one thing I couldn't understand was Rutgers and Maryland going to the Big Ten and things like this. Why would they have to leave the East Coast like that? Why fly 1,000 miles to go get your brains beat out by Ohio State?
Right.
I don't agree with that. You know, it should be set up in terms of the country. What is the easiest way? And I still think they're student athletes. You know, I'm not going to I belabor the point all the time. I want these kids to be student athletes, even though they're not. They need to be, if they need to be in the Northwest or in the Central, or the Southeast, or the East, they need to stay there and not taking jets all over the place. So it's up to the powers to be, especially the administrators of the school, to say, listen, my kids want to be educated more than they want to play football. Of course, we know that's a lie, but still, this is what I would approach. You say, I want to stay in the Big East.
Yeah.
I want to play 12 games in the Big East. I don't want to have to fly all over the world. As it is, maybe we can take some buses every once in a while. You know, not everyone's going to make $100 million in their budgets like Florida or Alabama.
Yeah.
These small schools don't get that kind of money. So it all comes down to dollars and cents too. So I like the AAC lineup though. I think that's going to be it. You've always been wolfing about the AAC for years, and justifiably so, because Central Florida and was it South Florida is there too?
Cincinnati, Houston, Navy,
yeah. Cincinnati,
Memphis.
Cincinnati is still a very powerful team. So looking forward to it.
And
matter of fact, I think I'll call them up and have you go over there and talk to these guys.
Yeah, you call it. Mike Oresco and I know each other very well, and so I think, you know, hire me as a consultant. Let me sit down. Let me have some of these conversations. I could sell ice to a snowman, so let me have some of these TCU, Texas Tech, Baylor conversations and get it going. But I think TCU will at least make 12. They'll go back to Division 6 and 6.
I think you're right.
And we'll make it easier. But yeah, I do. This is the irony of life. The Big 12, when they had 10, a couple of years ago, was looking to poach from the American. Nice. So I go to the American kickoff in Rhode Island, and it's not about the American. It's about the Big 12. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to talk to Mike Oresco about the Big 12. And the giant cloud over the entire summer kickoff was, what's the Big 12 going to do? They already poached the coaches. Are they going to take the schools now? And they didn't take anybody. And the American got through it. Now, a couple years later, look at what's happening. Now the American has the chance to take from the Big 12. My, how the tables have turned. And a man who stayed so steadfast in Mike Oresco, and you could say whatever you want to say, this man could have laid down dead when the Big East was poached more than any other conference in America. Realignment did not burn anybody more than it burned the Big East football. Mm-hmm. They were left with South Florida, who did not identify as a Big East, you know.
No, of course
UConn, who did, and Cincinnati, who didn't. They had just brought back Temple, They had 3 schools and Temple coming in. They could have given up. Mm-hmm. He built a conference out of rubble. He built a conference out of scraps.
He did.
He literally was the Iron Man building out of a box of scraps in a lair somewhere, in a cave. So I think it's time for them to get after it again. And I think with TCU, that gives you 12. It gives you 13 overall with Wichita State, with all the other sports outside of football. And it gives you an opportunity to truly go after Baylor and Texas Tech because you already have SMU in Houston. And I tell people all the time, there are no coincidences in life. They're God incidences, okay? They're purposeful things. There's moves that are being made. And when you move from Rhode Island to Irving, Texas during a pandemic, and you're at the center of Texas, and you got 2 schools in Texas, and now the Big 12 with Texas schools may be losing the schools and looking to be realigned, and you're right there with the opportunity to drive a few hours and meet with these schools,
right.
Something tells me the American Athletic Conference moved their headquarters at just the right time.
I think they did a very good presentation, and I agree with most of it. I want to be able to see it locally like you're describing to do. It certainly makes good sense for UConn to stay there instead of flying down to Texas to play Baylor or something like that. That doesn't make sense. So, but again, it's got to make sense in dollars and cents, Daniel. You know, and I know what you're trying to do. I think you're trying to come up with 5 major conferences in the country, and you're gonna, you know, it's going to water down the athletes a little bit though too. I mean, Florida's going to be rated a lot more too, and so is Texas. Those 2 states alone are the mini NFLs. So maybe even Georgia and Alabama.
But the irony that there used to be 4 super conferences,
right.
And they were named after regions when life used to make sense.
Yep.
And they had the Southern Conference, the SoCon. Well, I just interviewed the current commissioner of the SoCon, and think about this irony. Realignment's rearing its ugly head again, with Oklahoma and Texas moving to the SEC, on the 100th anniversary of the SoCon from 1921 to 2021. So isn't it funny, on the 100th anniversary of one of the mega conferences, that there could be realignment again? And mind you, folks, the SoCon used to have Alabama, Auburn, Clemson, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Maryland, Mississippi State, North Carolina State, Tennessee, Virginia Tech, Washington, and Lee used to be there as well. But think about this. This SoCon on its 100th anniversary of the mega conference, it's just funny how on 100 years celebrating what used to be a mega conference, we could be going back in America to mega conferences. It's just ironic. And again, no coincidences in life.
It is. I think that I don't think half the teams are not going to be competitive the way they are now. I look at the SEC, of course, and I look at teams like Kentucky and Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt's one of the hardest schools to get into, period.
Yeah.
And then to play football, they're 1-10 or they're 2-9 and things like that. You know, some of the others. Look at Duke. Duke is hard to get into too, and Duke doesn't field besides basketball. They don't field a football team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be hard as long as they can share in the profits of the conference. I don't have a problem with it, but they are going to get their butts whipped a lot more.
Well, and that's the thing too, is obviously it's a money move for Oklahoma and Texas.
Right.
But the question is, there's a Big 12 network, right? So they're making money in the Big 12. Nobody's making money like the SEC. But here's my thing. Why, if you're Oklahoma or Texas, yeah, you're going to get the money. You already recruit, but it'll help you a little bit more in recruiting. It'll make you more money. But at the end of the day, is Oklahoma ever going to be better than 8 wins? And is Texas ever going to be better than 6 in the SEC?
No.
Will they ever get out of the SEC alive?
They're going to
They won't.
play each other. They're going to beat each other up. I don't know why they're doing it. They're doing it for money, of course.
Right.
You know, Texas and Oklahoma just loved it. I mean, sure, we'd love to join you. I want a piece of that pie. They don't care if they're 8-8 or 6-6 or something like
It's
that.
like Rutgers joining the Big Ten. You're never going to be relevant. That's why somebody said with Maryland, people had beefs with me. What'd you say?
Rutgers in the Big Ten was a joke.
Well, and some people, not have beef, but some people, when they read my article that I just talked about, they didn't have an issue with anything but Maryland. Dan, why would Maryland leave? They're making this money. Maryland and Rutgers are making less than the other Big Ten schools when they split up, when they divvy up the pie. They have made less, and the ACC just paid out somewhere high 20s, low $30 million per team. So how are you going to lose getting $28, $34 million a season to be part of the ACC? you had relevancy. In basketball, you had rivalries with Duke and North Carolina. You could be put in the Atlantic Division, and Maryland can fight with the BCs and the Louisvilles and the Syracuses and the Wake Forests of the world. It makes perfect sense. So when somebody said to me, money, you're leaving the Big Ten for the ACC. You got money in the ACC. They have a network now. They got a lot of good stuff going on. You have Clemson. So I don't get the argument of why would Maryland leave monetarily when Maryland is the little brother, and the only thing that keeps Maryland out of the basement of the Big Ten is Rutgers, because Rutgers has pitched a tent in the basement.
Right. Syracuse doesn't belong in the ACC either. They belong up east with the rest of those schools.
They belong in the American.
That's right. That's
honestly.
where they belong. And Syracuse, I haven't read too much about Syracuse. What's up with Syracuse?
What's up with Syracuse? Garrett Schrader from Mississippi State. Are you coming up? Yep. So Garrett Schrader of Mississippi State trying to become the quarterback of the future, and we have another guest here. Sorry I made you wait there. Hello, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good. So let everybody know your first name here.
My name is Rosita.
Rosita. So welcome to the show, Rosita.
Thank you.
So, sports-wise, do you have a favorite team?
Well, I don't really know much about American football, but
Okay. Do you have a favorite team with anything?
UCF, I would say, because I go to UCF.
Okay. All right.
And I heard we're pretty good.
Was it yesterday? No, it was the day before. Tuesday, it was all UCF. Every girl here was connected to UCF in some way. So you have not seen a game at UCF, though?
No, I've seen one.
You've seen
one.
Okay, what game was that?
I don't remember. It was one of the beginning ones last year. It was like right when my freshman year. It
Okay.
was the first game.
So you went.
No, actually, I'm sorry. It was UCF and FSU.
UCF and FSU. Okay. So just so you know, there is a connection between the two schools. Mackenzie Milton, the quarterback at UCF, is now at FSU.
Oh.
So he's very good, and I just got to speak with him a couple weeks ago. So
That might not be good for us.
yeah, it may not be good, but UCF is going to be okay. We were just talking about UCF and how they deserve a better national spotlight.
They do.
Yeah, we do. I feel like outside of Florida, nobody really knows much about UCF.
So, music-wise, what are you listening to?
Anything, mostly pop.
Okay.
I like EDM a little bit,
Don't say rap.
not too much.
So, EDM is something that also a lot of the girls have said here. Well, EDM.
A lot of fans here. We love going to raves.
Okay.
It's just fun. I love the energy. The music makes me feel happy.
Can you feel Alex's eyes burning through the side of your head right now as she's watching you on screen? It's like a den mother just checking on you, making sure you're okay.
Just giving emotional support.
Yes. So, what are your hobbies outside of obviously work and going to school and whatnot? What do you enjoy doing?
Going out.
Okay.
What else? Let me think. I'm a dog mom. I love taking my dog to the park.
Okay.
My dog is pretty much my whole world outside of school and work. What else?
So I can show you as you're saying that. So what kind of dog do you have?
I have a little Chihuahua mix.
You have a Chihuahua mix? Okay, what's the mix?
I think it's mini pincher, but I'm not sure because I
Okay.
found him on the side of the road.
You found him on the side of the road?
Yeah.
Looking for Lily?
Yeah, so I found her, so that's mine.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
So that's Lily, folks. You know her here, so people have seen her. She looks like a Build-A-Bear.
She does. She looks like a teddy bear. It's so
Yeah.
adorable.
Tiny.
But you said your dog is your world, and you say that you're a dog mom. I was told, being in this world, so living in the single world, you know, they say that women can say they're dog moms, but it's not attractive for a guy to say they're a dog dad.
No,
Agree
I
or
think
disagree?
That's very attractive. I'd be immediately into that guy if he said I'm a dog dad.
Dog dad, because I have a shirt that says dog dad, and my buddy goes, "You can't wear that shirt." I was like, "Why not? I'm
No,
proud."
you should. Yeah,
Okay.
It's a good conversation starter.
So the dog dad shirt is in. I don't know if I brought it
Definitely.
with me, but being a dog parent, I think, is really good because I don't know. There's something about them. They're always there for you. They want to hang out. I don't know how your dog's personality is, but my dog has a very big personality.
Him too. Every time I go home from work, I'm just exhausted. I just get happy to see him.
What's his
I
name?
get so excited. Rico.
Rico. All right, I like
All right,
it.
we got a Rico.
So you got a Rico.
I'm
You,
gonna show my dog too.
you found him on the side of the road too.
I did. Right.
Let me see.
March 2 years ago.
March 2 years ago,
Like, right, March 2020, right when COVID was starting to hit.
and you just found him, and that was it.
Yeah, it was in a little box with his sister, and my neighbor took his sister.
Okay. All right. So you saved him.
Yeah, I pretty much did. He was all bloody. They hadn't washed him since he was born. He was like 2 weeks old.
So it was just so somebody just dropped the box there, I guess, or
yeah.
Wow, it's horrible to hear.
Highway
stuff like
too. Like, what if somebody hit it?
The highway?
At least leave it at a shelter or something.
Oh my goodness. So what made you stop? Could you see them in there, or did you just? I mean, what?
Yeah, because it was tilted over.
Oh, it was tilted over. Okay.
Dog was walking outside on the grass.
On the highway.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, no, we're going back.
So Rico has found a home, which is good. What is your favorite thing to do with Rico?
I love taking him to the park. We go to Downey Park by UCF.
Okay.
He has a lot of friends there. What else did we do?
He has a lot of friends there. Very nice.
Yeah, we were away for 2 weeks, and he just came back, and I took him to the park yesterday. He was so happy.
Yeah.
He ran.
He ran away, or you said you were away?
No, I was away.
Oh, you were away. Okay, all right. I thought you said he ran away, because I had somebody here talk about the fact that their dog actually left, which I don't know what I would do. I think that I've trained her that if she's in like the front of the house, she knows to go straight to the door. So she doesn't go out, she goes back, and she'll wait for you to open the door for her, which is great. So, we talked about music, we talked about Rico. Favorite thing to watch?
Right now I'm really into Marvel movies because I never watched them growing up, and my boyfriend got me into it, so now I'm like watching all of them in order. Okay,
so has he gotten you to watch them all? Are you all 24 in?
I watched every single one, up to literally all of them. I had watched the last two, Infinity War and Endgame, but I didn't get anything because I didn't know who was who or what was going on.
Yeah, you got to go back.
I went all the way back to Captain America and watched every single one.
You have to go back because it means nothing to you who dies unless you're like invested in them. Yeah,
and they're all connected to each other.
Everybody
is. I'm so obsessed now.
Yeah, so you like it. So you like Marvel. Who's your favorite character?
Iron Man, obviously.
Okay, all right. The goatee is an ode to him. So is the watch. So that's it's very much Tony Stark, and he is the original. He's the one that started the whole run of Marvel movies. If that movie by Marvel Studios didn't work, we may not be talking about 24 movies
best
right
movies
now.
Too.
So Iron Man's your favorite. Who's your least favorite?
Least favorite? Let me think. I like Captain America.
You like them all?
Yeah, I pretty much like them all.
Like them all? Okay. Favorite villain?
Oh, never mind. I don't like Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel? Okay, why?
Her movie was the most boring, and she doesn't really play much role in all the other movies except the last one.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't know if Brie Larson is an actress. I don't know if she's going to want to be around for like 10 movies. That was my thing, is did they cast the right? Yeah.
Exactly. They should have chosen someone else, probably.
Yeah. So we'll have to see where she goes from there. Before we get into a thing called Rapid Fire, where you get to question us.
Oh, God. I don't know what to ask.
I'm going to ask you, favorite part of living in Orlando when the entire world comes to visit Orlando, Florida?
The parks, obviously. The school. It's just a very lively city, very diverse. And everybody's always accepting of everyone. I don't know. I've just felt more at home here than when I first moved to America. I moved to South Florida.
Yeah.
And Boca, and that was just a whole different vibe.
So where was home?
Iran.
Really?
Yeah.
Iran was home.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've never met anybody from Iran. What was life like?
Very much different than here.
Yeah.
We had to wear hijab every day, ever since I was 9.
Wow.
And we had like separate schools. So when I first moved here, like going to school with boys was just so annoying. Boys are so annoying.
So what did you take away from that? How did it challenge you? How did Iran challenge you to kind of become a better person?
Like now when I look at my friends that stayed back home, I feel like grateful that I got out of that and I have a chance to like make it in the world. I feel like they're all just so stuck and they don't have much opportunity.
Did you say Iran?
Iran.
Yes.
Iran, the country Iran?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
How did you get out?
My aunt moved here before the revolution, and she applied for us. We were waiting 12 years before they called us to the embassy.
Really?
Like pretty much my whole life, we knew we were gonna come.
Yeah.
We were just waiting for them to call
Speak
us.
the language?
Yes.
You do?
I was born and raised.
Look at the
Never met
bilingual.
anyone. Yeah. Never met anyone
Arabic?
from Iran.
Trilingual. I speak a little bit of Arabic too.
Oh, wow. Trilingual.
You belong to the United Nations.
So can you say in your native language?
I think people do this.
I don't like that preface of that, but can you say welcome to Wake Up Call?
خوش اومدین به Wake Up Call.
Oh, very cool. I like that. Awesome. Did you do that one more time? I want to hear it again.
خوش اومدین به Wake Up Call.
Very cool. All right. Well, with you being a great sport, you can now put us on the hot seat. You can ask Papa Joe and myself one question apiece, and we have to answer it live on video and audio from Hooters iDrive. Anything in the world.
Wow.
Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, Florida in Focus Week.
You're going to put me under the gun like that?
We're on the hot seat from Rosita, yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's start with your favorite teams. What's your favorite football team?
My favorite football team?
Yes.
Tampa Bay Bucks.
Tampa Bay. Are you from Tampa?
No. We're both from Syracuse.
Where?
Syracuse, New York.
New York. Oh, you guys are a long
And
way.
I live in St. Augustine. And we
I
drove
love
over
St.
here
Augustine.
today to do the show because we do a show every Thursday from 9 to 10 together. So, yes.
So Tampa Bay.
Bucks.
Okay.
What about you?
My favorite team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I've been a Jaguars fan since their institution. Since they came in '95, I've been a fan all the way through.
Any reason?
I wanted my own team. I like the logo. I like the logo even more now because they changed it. I'm a Fred Taylor fan who is a Florida Gator, wore my number 21. And so, yeah, I mean, I've covered the team. This is my 11th year covering the team on site, on location in some respect. So it's kind of a miracle that I get to cover the team that I grew up loving as a little kid.
That's
You can ask.
inspirational.
Thank you. You can ask us one more that's non-sports related. I'm going to give you two.
Non-sports related.
Yeah.
Anything.
Because you've been a good sport. So,
Yes. Very knowledgeable.
PJ first.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let me
Trilingual, and I believe it's my
Trilingual.
first trilingual guest on the show.
Quadruple
Definitely in many years. If
You
not.
say you're going to school? You're going to college?
Yes.
What are you studying?
Health sciences. Health sciences.
What do you want to do?
I want to go to medical school.
Okay.
God bless you. Go back to Iran. Help those people out.
Yeah. Where'd you
They
go
need
back?
help, don't they?
Last time I went back was 2019.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
going back in December again, hopefully.
Sad over there? Sad over there? Is it sad over there?
Sad? I mean, I haven't been since 2019, and I heard it's a lot different now. It changes every time I go, but yeah, very sad.
Too bad.
Well, our prayers for Iran for sure.
that's
You have
great.
your
In
fun.
Afghanistan.
Oh yes, in Afghanistan for sure. Because it's as if nothing happened in a decade with everything going on now. It's kind of erasing everything. So, your final question for Papa Joe and final one for me. What do you?
Final question. I can't think of a question.
Anything in the world.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Daytona Beach, Daytona State College, University of Florida, and Bethune-Cookman University.
Smart. You're in the UF. What did you study? What did you study?
I spent art and education and business.
Wow, I love that. Very knowledgeable.
She's smarter than I am.
Is that your wife?
Yes, Miss Mary.
Hi, Miss Mary.
Yes.
Are you guys related?
Yes, we are. So I consider him another father to me. So that's why I call him Papa Joe. So
Papa J.
yeah.
You guys are very sweet. What about you? You go to school?
I did. So I went to Marywood University in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is 2 hours south of Syracuse. And I studied digital media and broadcasting, but I went to school with the intent of learning all communications. So I learned sales, I did acting, screenwriting, broadcasting, video production, audio production. So I own my company now. My company is over 9 years old. And so we do directing, producing. I work in music and screenwriting stuff, kind of behind the scenes. It's something I want to do. I've acted. I've been in a movie.
What
I've been on
movie?
stage. I was in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as an extra.
No, you were.
I was.
No, you were.
I was.
I don't believe it.
I was. And so 13 minutes in the car chase where the NYPD vehicles all crash into the 18-wheeler, I'm one of the 5 guys that comes out of the alleyway.
I have to watch that movie now tonight. I've never watched it.
Yes. So yeah, make sure that you get with me after this, and I'll give you the information for it because you can pick it up and see it. But yeah, no, it's very cool, and he's my favorite character. So to be able to do that's really awesome. And I was with my grandmother when I applied for it, and she lived to be almost 101. My G mama, which is his mom's sister, and incredible woman, best person that I know. And if they could make everybody like her, I think the world would be a lot better off right now. So Yeah, so I went to school for a little bit of everything, and I've barely scratched the surface of what I want to do. I like to challenge myself. So.
Very knowledgeable.
So, that coming from Rosita from Iran, trilingual, and Rico. Shout out to Rico. So, yes. So thank you for your time. But having me. I definitely have some more questions. Probably we'll have to do something else. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having
me.
Thank you for your time. Great meeting you.
Good luck.
Good meeting you too. So we're going to take a step aside here for a fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We are live from iDrive here at Hooters on 8801 International Drive. Come out and see us and hang out with us in my opinion, the best Hooters there is. And shout out to Hooters Corporate for all that they do. A big thanks to Jeff, Farron, Tim, and the entire team for all that they've done to make Florida in Focus Week possible, and for everything they've done for Hooters iDrive and for the country, and obviously during the pandemic to make sure they could get the Hooters back open, back running, and back rocking. Thank you to the entire team at Hooters. We'll be back right after this fast break. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbeville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York.
Mary's going crazy over there.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, where you're listening. You're watching on Facebook Live on facebook.com/livenowdt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora all week long is live from iDrive. We're at Hooters, Orlando, 8801 International Drive, and the ladies have been fantastic this week. I want to make sure I don't forget anybody. And so I want to thank Kalia, Alex, Holly, Portia for being a part of the show. And a big shout out to everybody that has been here. So, you ready to come on? All right, and we have Bethany coming on here with us now. So, Bethany's going to be joining us here. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good. So, you maybe heard the rundown a little bit of some of the things we've been doing. So, do you have a favorite team to start things off?
Obviously UCF because we're in Orlando and the tailgates are awesome. Okay. And then Steelers.
And the Steelers.
Yeah.
Big
so the question this week was, what teams travel the best, the fans? And I had mentioned the Steelers and I mentioned the Cowboys. Yesterday we had a guy at the bar come and talk to us during the show who's a Cowboys fan, and now we're sitting in with a Steelers fan. So I think that my theory is correct, that Steelers and Cowboys are all over the world.
Yes.
What made you a Steelers fan?
So, well, my family's from Pennsylvania, and they've been fans since like I was a kid. And then I love Juju Smith, and Ben is awesome. So.
Okay, you like Big Ben?
Yeah, he's been on the team forever, so.
He has. He's about 115 years old right now.
He's a true Steeler person, yeah.
Big Ben, how many more years do you think he'll play? As a fan, what's your thought?
I hope for a little bit, but I give him a couple years.
Now, you do know from last year that if, God forbid, Big Ben gets hurt, they have nobody to back him up. Because Mason Rudolph, not good. Josh Dobbs wasn't good. Mason, Dwayne Haskins has had some moments, but basically without Big Ben, the team looks very different.
Yeah, I'll be sad when he goes, honestly. But I'll still be a Steelers fan. So.
James Conner, who was your running back the last couple of years, he came from the University of Pittsburgh. I was a big fan of him there. He beat cancer, he beat injuries, he beat all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. They just let him go to Arizona. Were you a fan of James Conner? No? So, but you like Juju?
Yeah, I love Juju Smith.
So why do you like Juju?
He's just as a person, he's so funny. I love him. I follow him on Instagram, and he's just like cool, I guess.
So you like his personality?
Yeah, I went to a couple years ago. They had the football. I forget the name of it, but I saw him there in Orlando.
Okay, all right.
Totally forgot.
They had an event here in Orlando with Juju? Okay. Mm-hmm. So, besides that, you said UCF. Mm-hmm. Do you go to the games or no?
I only go for the tailgate.
You go to the tailgate?
Yeah, that's the best part.
Because you're not allowed to drink in the stadium, right? Isn't that the thing?
I think so.
Well,
I do.
Well, okay, you do. One of the girls said that she goes to the tailgate and leaves because she can't drink the way she wants to in the stadium. And I was like, so you missed the whole game. So.
Yeah, or you just drink too much and you don't make it.
So you love the tailgates at UCF?
I do. I love them.
What's the best thing about the tailgate?
Just meeting people, go with your friends, and drinking. It's a good time.
Favorite drink of choice?
Tito's. Tito's and vodka.
Tito's? Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Tito's and Sprite.
Is that what you get here?
Here? I don't drink here.
You do not drink here?
I don't drink at work.
You don't drink at work? At all, ever?
No.
Okay. All right. No, she drinks Tito's and Sprite.
Yeah.
So, okay, fair enough. Or as she calls it, Tito's and vodka. So.
Oh my gosh.
Tito's on Tito's.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. With a little bit of Sprite. So, favorite music?
I like all kind of music. I listen to everything: EDM, country, rap, R&B, everything. But I would say the most I listen to is like Post Malone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Post Malone.
Yeah, I love him. Saw him. He's great.
You said country.
Yes.
Favorite country group or individual singer?
Right now I'd say Jake Owens because he's from Vero Beach.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm from there. So like it's pretty cool seeing someone like your hometown.
Yeah.
And then now he's like someone so big. It's pretty awesome. It's cool.
Did you ever get to see him before he blew up?
No, because he's a little bit older
Okay.
than me.
So Vero Beach.
Yeah.
So you're a native of Florida.
Yes.
Which so many people are not.
Yeah.
Especially in Orlando. So what's it like being able to say I have a Florida license plate and I was actually born here?
It's pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm a Floridian, born and raised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us New Yorkers become Floridians.
Oh my gosh, I know. There's a lot of New Yorkers here.
Yeah, so many of
They're
us.
coming.
So what can you tell me about Vero Beach? Favorite parts?
The beach, obviously, like it's so nice, beachside. It is a small town. There's nothing to really do besides the beach. There's only like 2 bars.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's not really.
Nothing to do there but the beach.
No, yeah.
So, okay.
I love my friends there, so that's why I go and visit still.
Okay.
My family.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Movie. Favorite one of all time?
Okay. I'd say Mean Girls.
Okay. You know
It's a
what?
classic.
Every time it's on television, I watch it. I
Me
don't know
too.
why. Mean Girls is
It's
the
always
name.
on. It's
Yeah, with
great.
Lindsay Lohan.
Oh my goodness, I
And
love her.
I can't. It's always on. What is it? Freeform.
Oh, it's like I don't know. It's
And
on
I
a
watch
lot.
it on. I watch it all the time.
Yeah.
I know what's going to happen, but I can't stop watching it.
Yeah.
It is a very good movie.
It is.
Wear pink on Wednesdays, right?
Yes,
Is that what it is?
yeah.
On Wednesdays we wear pink.
Yeah, it
So,
is.
yeah, there's some good stuff. There's some good one-liners in that movie. There's some good things that come through that. So, have you ever encountered a mean girl in real life?
If I have, I probably wouldn't even notice. I'm very like oblivious to things, so and things don't make me mad. So,
Okay.
I don't know. Probably.
What's made you that way? What's made you that you don't? Because I think the world could gain a lot from a human being who doesn't let outside opinions affect them.
I just don't care. Like, be yourself, do you. At the end, it's like it's you that matters, not what other people think. So, whatever benefits yourself.
Shout out to our Gator Farron in the house. So we got to show him some love here because we have a Gator here as well.
Oh, nice.
So don't care about other people's. You know, there's a quote: "Other people's opinions of me are none of my business."
Yeah, right.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Just do whatever makes you happy.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Comes with a smile, gives good advice. Thank you, Bethany.
You're welcome.
Before we let you go, you get to do a thing with us called Rapid Fire where you get to put us on the hot seat. I've done it for years on my show.
Oh.
You get to ask Papa Joe any question. You get to ask me any question. And on live video and audio, we have to answer it. No pressure, but Hooters of America corporate has seen this. Obviously, Hooters I Drive and people all over the world. So you now officially can put us on the hot seat for the entire planet to see it.
goodness.
And now that we had Rosita on, Iran is probably going to see what we had to say. So
Okay.
whenever you're ready, you can go with Papa Joe first.
All right, Papa Joe. Let me think of something. Have you ever played any sports?
Yes.
Yeah?
I played basketball in college.
Okay.
I played golf.
Okay. Nice. I like basketball.
I can't play anymore because I'm meet Jazzy Jeff over
In his
here.
scooter,
this is
yeah.
my little scooter there.
Yeah.
I can't do much of anything, but I did play basketball in college.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
For what college share?
Daytona State College.
Daytona State.
Are you from Florida?
I'm from Syracuse.
You know, both from Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
My nephew.
But he moved down here.
I moved down here in '63.
Okay, so basically Florida.
We live in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
It's beautiful there. I love that.
My mom's family almost all moved to Florida. My dad's family stayed in New York, so I always say my mom's family is more intelligent.
Yeah.
So when it comes to those decisions.
Yeah, New York's definitely got to be street smart. So.
Oh, yeah.
It's brutal up there. I love it. I love visiting though.
Yeah.
But I would never live there. But the city's awesome.
Yeah, the city's good to visit. Not
Very
to
nice.
live. I live outside of it.
Yeah.
So, what is your question for me?
Okay, for you. It's hard.
Anything in the world.
You're a handsome guy.
Thank you, PJ.
think of anything. Okay, where have you not traveled?
Where have I not
traveled? You're a traveler, right?
I am a traveler.
Yeah.
So I have never been to the West Coast.
Of the U.S.?
Of the U.S. I've never been to San Diego, which my buddy Donald wants me to come out.
No, you definitely got to go to California.
So I do want to go to San Diego. I do want to go to D23, the Disney thing that they have out there, which is odd years, which should have been this year, 2021. And I want to go back. So I have Italian blood and Spanish blood.
Oh, me too.
You do both?
Yes, I'm Italian, Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're Italy and Spain. So
Okay.
I want to go. I've been to Puerto Rico.
Love it.
But I've been to Old San Juan, New San Juan. I've never been to Italy or Spain. So I want to go see my family.
Definitely do that.
And my family in Spain actually watches 5 hours ahead of time. So shout out to Jose, Ana Maria, and everybody.
Shout out to you guys.
Thank you for watching and listening. So yeah, I would like to go see my family, and I'd like to go to San Diego, and I really want to go to Hawaii. So.
Oh yeah, I do too. I want to go everywhere.
Where have you been?
I've been to all of like the islands. Been to a lot of places.
Okay.
Yeah.
Run me down the line here. I want to hear.
All through the East Coast.
Okay.
In California. Puerto Rico, obviously. Honduras, Mexico, Bahamas. I love the Bahamas. My favorite. I have not been to Dominican Republic. I really want to go there. St. Thomas, it's beautiful there.
Okay.
Just like the little islands, because we cruise a lot. My family, well, before COVID. Yeah, I would love to go overseas, but it's kind of rough right now.
Yeah, that was my thing. Italy and Spain have never wanted to go, more so now because we can't. So, Honduras. What did you like about Honduras?
Oh my gosh, the monkeys.
Okay.
Like there's wild monkeys everywhere, and they're so cute. Like they come up to you. I heard they're bad though, but I haven't encountered with a bad monkey. So.
Okay. So you haven't had a bad monkey experience, only good ones.
Yeah, the people there are so sweet. Like they're down to earth.
Mary said there's bad monkeys in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
There's bad monkeys in Costa Rica.
Oh, I have not been to Costa Rica.
Okay.
I want to go there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, we've learned about monkeys and a ton of great things from Bethany. Bethany, thank you for being a part of the show. We appreciate it.
Nice to meet you, guys.
Nice to meet you too. And you come out and see Bethany and the entire team right here at Hooters I Drive on 8801 International Drive right here in Orlando, Florida, as Wake Up Call is on site, on location, Florida in focus. So we appreciate you being here, hanging out with us. And PJ, we got more stuff to get to.
Oh, damn.
More things on our minds.
There's something, we have to broach the subject sooner or later.
Go ahead. What do you want to talk about?
The Jaguars.
Yes. I was going to go there, so let's go there.
I'm very distraught.
You're distraught, okay.
I watched the game, of course.
Yep.
I don't like to see our franchise quarterback sacked on the very first play of the game.
Yeah.
I thought the offensive line had a poor game.
Yeah.
Lawrence could have done a little bit better, but he did all right. He stood upright a couple of times. Defense couldn't stop anything. They had something over 300 yards passing. Cleveland, and that's not even with Baker Mayfield. You know, Meyer, of course, Tim Tebow was not a factor, and that's something else we can talk about. But the team did not look in sync. I know that Meyer, from my days of watching him and listening him and hearing about him and reading about him, is he likes to play fast. And I've told you that for years on this telecast. He likes to play fast, and he wants his players to play fast. He doesn't want to plod up to the line of scrimmage and get down and up. It's got to be quicker than that. It's got to flow much better than that. And I could see, just after the first couple of plays, I could see his face, and I knew he wasn't happy. Just from the first couple of plays. Yeah. Lawrence made some really good throws. Some really good throws. Minshew looked good, but if the first team offensive line was in sync, they could have run the ball a lot better. Yeah. And they could have protected Lawrence. I'm very distraught about it. I thought I had tears in my eyes because I thought for sure that after Lawrence went down on the very first play of the game of the season, I don't want to see him get killed, Yeah. I'll be Pop Stone. He's ready to go. Tough kid, but he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have had him. He'll learn the game. He'll learn to get rid of the ball quicker because, look, Meyer will play quicker. He will bring them up to the line of scrimmage quicker. He'll go through the progressions quicker, and he'll be a lot quicker. Everything's got to be quicker, Daniel, much faster.
Yeah.
It was terrible to watch. I was very upset about it.
Well, and that's the thing is you have to speed it up. Yeah. In the college game, there's a lot of speed it up now. There's a lot of hurry up, and Dino Babers came into Syracuse. He wanted to run 100 plays in a game. So I think in the NFL, though, it's not as fast. It's more methodical. So if Urban Meyer speeds up the game with Jacksonville, arguably Jacksonville will be in a league of their own kind of, because you don't have a lot of hurry up offenses in the NFL.
But you got to give the kid time to read. I mean, I understand that, and he's going to go through his progressions.
Right. He's got a great check down with Travis Etienne already there. So.
Right. He looked comfortable. Maybe Meyer's not showing his hand on everything that he wants to do. He could have used Etienne a little bit more. Robinson played a good game. Chenault caught a couple of wide receiver screens there that he picked up good yardage on. But all in all, it was a miserable effort, and I'm sure that he wasn't happy. He's not the kind of guy that's going to rant and rave and scream and stuff.
Yeah.
That's not Urban Meyer. He will sit down methodically with his coaches and say, this is what we have to do. This is what we have to have. We have to give Trevor this type of information. He's got to be able to process it faster. Look, if you can't run a play in 4 seconds in the NFL, you're not going to win anything. 4 seconds seems like an eternity, but you think about it: 1, 2, 3, 4. You're either going to hand the ball off or throw the ball quickly. Anything past 5.5, 6 seconds, you're going to lose your quarterback.
Well, I mean, and the reality of it all is, I think it was David Carr when he was for Houston, when they had their expansion year in 2002, when he came in, because, you think, expansion, this is great. I get a bunch of vets from all different teams. I get talented guys who have experience, but they have never played together, a lot of them. So his offensive line, he got sacked over 90 times a season. He had 1.4 to 1.7 seconds to hike the ball and get sacked. Now, I'm gonna put it on my clock here, okay? 1.7 seconds is, if I'm standing under center, it's this. That's all that is. If you can look at if you can make your reads in that time, that's insane. If you're giving Big Ben his head with his old offensive line, he had like 4 seconds to throw the ball. That's an eternity. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Now, there's, of course, a lot of stuff going on, but 4 seconds to a quarterback is a minute and a half. So when you have that time, you got to use it wisely, and I agree with you. They're going to have to learn how to move it and get it going. Greg loved my my joke that Syracuse, New York is Santa's armpit.
Is what?
It's Santa's armpit because you get 6 months of snow.
Oh, geez.
So, but yeah, Jacksonville, we can address it. A couple days ago on Tuesday, came in here to Hooters I Drive, and it was the thing on in the morning. And a lot of times that's happened with my show, and I find that to be a blessing, that big news happens either while I'm on the air live or right before, so I get to, be like the first voice to talk about it for some people, which is great. And Tim Tebow got...
It's the same Greg that comes on all the time?
Yep. So
he talks about my man Jameis? My man
Jameis. So, but Tim Tebow got cut. And I got asked the question of, where's he going to go now? Is he done? I think he's done with football. I think he's done with baseball. He doesn't need any of this. He was going to get paid $920,000 to be on the Jaguars. Didn't even ask for $1 million. Got paid peanuts, which in the NFL, that's peanuts. So what are your thoughts on Urban Meyer cutting his former Heisman quarterback?
Well, the information coming out of Jacksonville wasn't good. He participated in the drills.
Yeah.
He catches the ball well. Couldn't block worth a darn. But it was obvious that he was going to be one of the first ones cut. And after watching the game the other night, I specifically watched him, even though I think he was targeted once for a pass.
Yeah.
And the other times he was just there. He got a couple of matador blocks where he just let the bull go through. It's terrible. Tim Tebow is 34 years old. He's probably the most fittest 34-year-old you're ever going to see. The guy is a rock. He's been out of the game too long. He played the quarterback position. He didn't do well with that. Denver didn't give him the time of day. Went to Nothing. Went to nothing.
Yeah.
And baseball was a miserable failure for him. He couldn't hit curveballs.
Yeah.
The thing with Tim Tebow is, I think Meyer was up front with him, and he said, "Look, we have a history together. You won two national championships with me. Yeah. You won a Heisman Trophy with me.
Yeah.
You were a first-round pick for me. I just don't think it's going to work." And he was true about it. I mean, he gave him every opportunity. But Tebow's a class guy, and he expected it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It wasn't something unexpected. He was very gracious in defeat. He gave kudos to the team, kudos to the town, kudos to Mr. Khan, kudos to everyone. That's just the way he is. Don't worry about him. He'll be on the SEC network making a couple million a year. That's where he'll wind up.
Well, that's the thing is he's going to be fine no matter what. He didn't need football, but I've never heard so many people talk about a backup tight end. I've never heard so many people talk about a cut. Why people need him to fail is beyond me. And the only thing that I can really look at in this conversation of Tim Tebow is, when you're a good person and you work your butt off and you believe in God and you try to help people and you don't try to hurt anybody, it seems like sometimes the best ones are the ones made fun of the most, attacked the most, ridiculed the most, questioned the most. And the reality is, it's been over a decade of Tim Tebow coverage. You can't find anything wrong with the guy. I've interviewed him. I've sat with him. I've been around him. There's no story. So if believing in God, having a strong faith, chasing your dreams, and being the best you can be is a problem, how many people that critique Tim Tebow can say that they played baseball at a major level, football at a major level, won a national championship, won a Heisman Trophy as the greatest player in the country, and they're an author, and they're a public speaker? How many people can say one of those things? So with all reality, I'm going to tell you all what it is about Tim Tebow. You're jealous. That's what it is. You're jealous, you're hateful,
man.
And the man is living his life. If you're going to hate a man for being a good person or a woman for being a good person, that says a lot about you and nothing about them.
That's right. You're exactly right. Look, and he'll wind up fine. He's an extraordinary man. He is a hell of a speaker, and he travels to the Florida circuit, talking to the Gators.
Yeah.
He does recruiting for Florida.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the guy.
No.
He's an extraordinary human being, and everything you said was correct. And if people, I don't know why people won't accept that. I mean, I can't understand it. It upsets me terribly. But I knew that watching him play football, that it wasn't going to last, and Urban Meyer did the correct thing.
So, seeing him move forward, they now have Luke Farrell, who's a rookie, Chris Manhertz, who they brought in, James O'Shaughnessy, who's been there, and Ben Ellefson, and so on and so forth. They still don't have a dominant tight end. When we look at the tight end, so there's Manhertz, Tyler Davis, James O'Shaughnessy, and Ben Ellefson.
He's the one that caught the most passes last year.
Yeah, and O'Shaughnessy is the guy that bailed them out of the almost playoff loss in the wild card to Buffalo that I was on site on location covering. James O'Shaughnessy, he's the vet on Jacksonville at tight end that people don't know, and they need to get to know him. And he's got some cool tattoos as well.
I think Manhertz will be the blocker. O'Shaughnessy will be the pass catcher.
And Luke Farrell, we'll see. They drafted him.
Yeah.
I think he was a fifth rounder.
Yeah.
So we'll see where he goes from there. When you look at the Jaguars roster, what do you want to discuss that's kind of on your mind right now, looking at this roster?
I just love the wide receivers. I just love the wide receivers. I mean, you got DJ Chark and Laviska Shenault, who 2 years ago I told you he was going to be a world beater. I'm happy to see Marvin Jones there. Trevor is going to have his pick.
Yeah.
And he's going to be able to get the ball to see the way he flirted out to Shenault a couple times during the game. And Shenault is so big and so strong that he just shakes off cornerbacks and wide safeties real easy.
Yeah.
Shenault is going to be an extraordinary player in this game. Tight end we've already talked about. Quarterback, he's going to keep Minshew.
Yeah.
He's probably going to see Beathard and Newton. He's going to keep one of those guys, and the other one will probably be in a taxi team. They're three pretty good quarterbacks after Lawrence.
Yeah.
Running backs, you got two of the best in the. Travis Etienne hasn't even played it down yet in the NFL, and everyone's talking about the kid. And it should be.
And James Robinson had over 1,000 yards.
All Trevor Lawrence has got to do is look at Travis, at Etienne, and they know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Even without a play, you know.
That comes from playing in college together.
Oh, you got these two guys are going to run the heck of the ball. I just want Meyer to synchronize a little bit better, make him play a lot faster, speed the game up.
And looking at the fact that they have an offensive line of a bunch of returners, Cam Robinson out of Alabama at left tackle, Andrew
Taylor. Two tackles that haven't done the job.
Yeah, and right tackle, Juwan Taylor out of Florida, who they drafted. A.J. Cann, who is, I think, the last player on the roster that had been on the roster years ago. I think A.J. Cann is like the last, living Jaguar in this lifespan of the NFL at right guard. Brandon Linder's been there for 100 years at center, and Andrew Norwell a couple years ago they paid a bunch of money to bring over from Carolina at left guard. So they have the same faces, the same bodies, but these five guys have never once stayed healthy for an entire season together. What do you think about the line?
After watching them the other night, I wasn't happy. I mean, when you got two bookend tackles like Taylor and Robinson, those guys are 6'5" and 330 pounds. And if they can't protect your quarterback, you're in for a world of kimchi, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see either one of these guys lose or be cut because they paid so much money for them.
Yeah.
And they're both 5-year veterans. I think one's a 4, one's a 5. So they should be the bookends, and they should be able to carry the offensive line. Can move around. Bart can move around. We have another guest?
We do. We got another guest. We have Crystal coming in.
Hello.
Yeah. So, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So, you're behind the bar today.
I am.
We just heard from Bethany, who said she likes Tito's and vodka. She meant Tito's and Sprite, but I think she just likes a lot of vodka.
That happens a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. People order that a lot.
Yeah,
Tito's and vodka.
Tito's and vodka. That happens a lot. So, favorite part of working the Hooters bar?
It's really the personality. People come back there for the personality, so it's not. I've worked at a lot of other places where you have to kind of like a robot.
Yeah.
Here it's not like that. You kind of just have fun.
How would you best describe your personality behind the bar?
Oh, I'm actually really awkward. But it makes people laugh.
I love that. You come for the personality. How's your personality?
Yeah.
Extremely awkward.
Extremely awkward, but witty. I don't know.
Okay.
It works.
So, what is the awkward personality? How would you describe a day in the life of you behind the bar then?
So I'll like walk up to someone and try to be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Hey, hi." Like it just doesn't come out. I word vomit a lot.
Okay.
I run into things, and then I apologize to the thing that I ran into.
Oh, nice. I like that. I haven't seen you bang into anything and apologize to it yet.
Yeah. I'm
so
trying
that's
to be
quiet. Okay. Fair enough. So I know that Farron here likes to mess with you a little bit. Do you mess back with him?
Yes, absolutely.
Who's the best jokester of all the Hooters girls here? Who plays the best pranks?
Plays the best pranks.
Yes.
I don't know about pranks, but I think Paige, she's also a bartender.
Okay.
She's someone that you can mess with, and she'll just do it right back. So
okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to go back and forth with her. Laugh.
Do you play jokes on people?
Yeah.
Who do you the most? Who do you go after the most? Who's easy to get?
It's usually the staff guys. They're so fun. They're friendly. They mess with us too. But yeah, sometimes we play pranks on them when they first start. Or when they try us, then we do the same thing back. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So why is Hooters iDrive the best one to be at?
I've worked at a couple of stores, and this is my favorite because you get people from all over the world constantly. It's not just like, every once in a while you meet someone from Brazil or Texas or Australia. It's all the time. You're constantly meeting new people. So it's fun. You learn new things all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and I think because you're in the melting pot, Orlando is When you find a native of Orlando, which we did this week on the show here, when you find an Orlando native, it's shocking. It's like finding an albino alligator or something like that.
It really is. Yeah, no one's from here.
No.
Yeah.
So where are you from?
I'm from New York.
What? Okay, we're both from New York. So what part?
Oh, are you? I'm
Yes.
from the Bronx.
Okay.
The Bronx.
Yeah.
All right.
Bronx.
So.
My stomping ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's mom she was from Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn's nice.
She was from Brooklyn, and then I have some extended family down there now, but we're from upstate New York, from Syracuse.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to ask you from the Bronx, do you consider us New Yorkers or no?
I would. I don't know.
I don't like the way she answered that.
I moved down here in '63.
Yeah, he's been down here forever.
Oh, so yeah, you're a serious Floridian.
Yeah.
I mean, I never tell someone like, oh, you're not actually from New York, but that's what everyone says. They're like, are you actually from New York? I'm like, oh, the Bronx. They're
When's
like,
the last time you've been to the Bronx Zoo?
It's been probably since I was a child.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
When's the last time since you've been home to the Bronx?
Oh my God, that's been a long time too. Probably like 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Yankee fan?
You know, I'm not a sports girl, but yeah, if I had to choose, it'd be Yankees. If I had to choose football, it would be the Giants.
Okay, all right. I don't think anybody chooses the Jets on purpose. So you really honestly can't. So Giants, but I mean, have you been to a Yankees game?
When I was a kid, again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've experienced Yankee Stadium,
Yes.
which is important.
That was an experience for sure.
It is. The $20 cheesesteaks and everything that you have to get there.
Yeah.
Do you like Nathan's? Are you a fan of Nathan's hot dogs?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You realize that when someone does an influx, like in their voice, it means they're lying. When when you go higher, it means you're not telling the truth. Nathan's hot. You can say listen. We come from New York, upstate New York. So Hyde's and Hoffman's are way better than Nathan's. Nathan's is trash compared to those.
So we're allowed to say that.
So you're allowed to say Nathan's is garbage because it is. They taste weird, and you can't sell it to me.
Are you Jewish?
No.
What? Were you going to pick a different?
No.
The Bronx? Yeah, well, and the Hebrew National hot dogs are good there too. Yeah, it is a diamond. So what is your nationality?
What is my nationality?
Yes.
My mom's from Puerto Rico and my dad's from El Salvador.
Oh, very cool. Have you been to either?
I have never been to Puerto Rico somehow, but I have been to El Salvador.
Tell us about El Salvador. Never met anybody from there.
It's been a long time, but I mean, it was fun. It was beautiful. It's somehow like different, but also kind of similar. But I mean, I'd like to go again. Still have some family out there that I haven't gotten to see again since I was a child. But
it seems like
going places since I was a child.
You've done everything when you were a child.
I know.
So what have you done since being a child besides work here?
I've gone to Europe.
You've gone to Europe.
So not in the United States, just outside of it.
Okay, where in Europe?
I've been to London, Paris, Rome, Barcelona, Munich, and
I've been all the hitters.
The first time I went to Europe, it was with a tour group, and then the second time it was just with my sister and a friend.
Very nice.
Yeah, the tour group was a little more fun, I think.
So you've been to Rome.
Mm-hmm.
So I have blood from Italy.
This is from Florence.
And that's from Florence.
It's a
I love
cave.
it.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful. It's so
Well,
beautiful.
and we have to shout out Mary T, who's off the air here, the bride of Papa John.
Hi. Yes, nice to meet you.
That Mary is the planner of Italy. That if you want to, especially when it comes to like seeing the art and everything, if you want to plan out a trip to see the beauty of Italy, you go through Mary.
I'm going to keep that in mind. I definitely want to go back.
I mean, we didn't miss any museum.
Yeah. We were on a time crunch, so I feel like we did have to miss a lot, but it was amazing. It was really, really nice.
So I have to selfishly ask, since I'm Italian and Hispanic, that Barcelona and Rome, your favorite parts of both?
The Colosseum for Rome, only because, you learn about it when you're really young, and I always dreamt about it, this, huge thing.
When you were a kid, when you were traveling.
Yeah, I know, when I was a kid, traveling to, the Bronx Zoo. But Barcelona, I liked Barcelona. It just wasn't what everyone described it to be. So I wish I would have seen more of it.
What was not what people, why was it not what you thought it was going to be?
It wasn't, I think that like people paint a picture of what Spain is going to be like, and so that's kind of what you think and what you see. And when people are like, "Yeah, you're going to see this and you're going to see that," I mean, like we mostly went to restaurants, and I mean the food was good, but it still just wasn't what the typical description of
when
Barcelona
I
is.
went to Europe several times, the cities are dirty.
Yeah.
What?
I'm like, how do they get these great pictures, like,
oh, yeah.
You get there and
Streets
it does
clean,
not
the
look like
sidewalks
that.
weren't clean.
Yeah.
But you put all that aside when you start looking at the art.
Well, yeah, the art and the food is what I've been told.
Yeah.
See, I've never been to Europe. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to all over Canada, and I've been to a lot of like the Midwest and almost the whole East Coast. But I have not experienced Europe before.
Really?
So I know nothing of life over there.
Really? Ireland, that was my favorite.
Ireland was your favorite.
Yeah.
Does it rain every day for real?
We had great weather while we were there. Somehow we got really, really lucky for England and Ireland.
Okay.
And yeah, everyone says it rains all the time, but it didn't rain while we were there.
See, I'm learning about travel today, which is good. From like the capital of the world where everybody comes to visit.
Yeah. And Teal plan your trip for you.
Yeah.
Being in Orlando and being able to talk to so many different people, where's like the craziest place you've met somebody from that's come in here?
Ooh, that's a good question. I guess right on the spot, I couldn't tell you, but I think that there are so many times where someone will be like, "I'm from here. Do you know where that is?" And I'm like, "No, I have no idea. Never heard of it in my life." So I guess that's kind of it. And I'm like, "Wow, I didn't know that place existed." So.
Yeah, there's a lot to see out there, and hopefully post-COVID we can travel again.
I know. I can't wait.
Do you go to the parks here?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a huge Disney fan.
All right.
Isn't everyone, though?
No, but see, I am, but see, other people we talk to, not. So what I did yesterday is I did the show here, and then we had to edit, and we had the draft last night. There was 2 hours in the middle, and so I was tired. I was like, I need to take a little break from the computer. I could go anywhere. I went to Epcot for an hour.
Love Epcot.
Just for an hour.
Did you love it?
I did. I got the apple pie drink from the apple orchard for Food and Wine.
Oh wow, I haven't tried that one.
It's got like apple crisp on the top. It's got apples in it. It was,
oh my God.
Yeah, Food and Wine is, I used to work at Epcot, so.
Oh, did you?
Worked at Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So at Epcot, I worked at Outdoor Foods. So I stocked all the carts that were in Future World and part of the World Showcase. Then I ran the dining room of Sci-Fi, and I was responsible for getting all of our guests in and out seamlessly, which was insane.
Wow.
And then I did vacation planning at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, vacation planning was a lot of fun. Air conditioning, they walk up to you, they ask your advice. Everybody sees my Syracuse name tag, and they're like, "Go Cuse!" So it was fun. But yeah, Disney's. So now I want to talk about Disney because I feel like there was non-Disney love I got from some of the girls here. So, favorite Disney park?
Animal Kingdom.
Same.
Absolutely.
What is it?
Animal Kingdom. Same. My favorite ride is in Animal Kingdom.
What is it?
Expedition Everest.
Of course. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Mine is the safari ride. I'm obsessed with elephants. It's like the only place I really get to see them. And
That's true.
Yeah, but
okay, so the safari. Second favorite park?
Ooh, second favorite's probably going to be Epcot.
Really? Wow, that's like everybody's fourth. Okay.
I think it's because people don't feel like there's a lot to do there.
Yeah.
And there's like select rides you can go to and it's fun, but once you're done with that, you go. But Epcot has Food and Wine. It has a lot of festivals to go to, so.
And now they've almost done it that there's a festival all year.
Yeah.
Where there's like no break, there's always good food. I can tell people where to go from my Food and Wine trip this time. There's a mac and cheese place.
I can't wait to try that.
It's called Cowboy Mac and Cheese. That one was good. There's a lobster station now. They don't have the scallops this year.
Really?
I don't think they do.
I heard they got rid of a lot this year.
Italy has Italian donuts with raspberry. That's good. Spain has their seafood salad, which is the first time I tried octopus, but they don't have it this year.
I'm scared to try that.
Yeah. It's purple, and it's like, it looks like you shouldn't eat it, but it actually tastes really good.
Does it?
It does.
Is it chewy?
No, it's actually meaty. It's kind of like a steak.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not what I expected.
Me neither. It's almost like you think it's going to be rubbery, and it's not.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you said favorite ride was the Kilimanjaro Safaris. Do you do all the rides, or are you not a roller coaster?
So, I mean, I do the roller coasters, but I panic before
Okay.
every single time. So there are times I do chicken out. I'm like, just not today. I can't do it.
Have you done Tower of Terror?
Yes. That's one of the rides. I will get in line and I'm like, I'm going to do this. And I get on. And once I'm sitting down and it's too late to get off, then I'm just like, why do I do this to myself? I hate this.
So I'm going to tell you a story that'll make you feel better. Shout out to my best friend, Evan. I'm really sorry I'm telling this story.
no.
I'm not sorry, but I am sorry. For him, not me. So he's afraid of heights. And he went on the ride with me because nobody would go with me on Tower of Terror. Everybody would say not today.
Yeah.
So him and I, we were with like a group of people, and I don't even remember who they are because they don't matter because they didn't go on any rides. So Ev goes, I'll go with you, let's go. So we get in line. He's sitting in the back corner, and I'm sitting there, and he said to me, he was like, bro, I hate this. Like, I want to let you know that I'm really mad that I'm on this ride, but I'm doing it for you. So we go through the thing, and there was girls that were in the front row. We were in the back row, like, teenage girls, whatever. So the ride starts, and I hear a woo like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, these girls are going to be so loud during the ride. So we go up and we drop, and I don't know if I could do it here without hurting my voice, but I hear this, like this really high, and I was like, and I remember like grabbing my ears going, oh my God, like I know you're scared, but shut up. So we get off the ride, and Evan's looking at the ground, and he goes, what did you think, bro? And I said, it was fine. I said, what did you think? I said, besides those girls screaming, it was cool. And he said, shut up. It was me. And it was him the whole time that was screaming that loud.
No.
So.
But in his defense, I probably have made this up in my head, but I feel like when I go on rides like that and I scream, I feel it less in my stomach.
Okay.
I don't know. I could be making that up, but it helps me. So maybe that's why he screams.
So he could feel it less in his stomach?
Yeah, maybe.
It was the highest pitch noise I've ever heard. Like Mickey Mouse and then Evan. So it was in a different world. Favorite Disney character?
Ooh, putting me on the spot.
I got to get my Disney fix now. I've waited all week to talk to a Disney person. So.
Like it can be like a movie,
could be anything.
Cartoon, Pocahontas.
Okay, why? I've never had that before.
Okay, this is weird, but when I was little, I used to think that I was Pocahontas. Like, I'd be like, yeah, I'm Pocahontas, no big deal.
Very cool.
Because my friends would tell me I looked like Pocahontas, but I had like long black hair, so that's why. But I love her.
Okay, Pocahontas.
She's great. Yeah, free
never
spirit.
heard that before. I like
really?
it. Yes, never heard that before. So you get to put us in a thing called Rapid Fire. You get to put Papa Joe and I on the hot seat, and you get to ask us questions. So because you've been such a great sport, and we're not going to talk about how you may or may not have ran away on Monday.
I tried today too.
I know you tried today. I saw it. So you get to ask PJ 2, and you get to ask me 2. So
two questions. Okay.
Yeah, I give Disney fans get an extra question. So you can start with Papa Joe.
Okay. So what is something that sounds like a compliment but is actually an insult?
That's a good question.
Expose it.
That's
something you might say to someone, trying to sound like you're complimenting them, but also it's kind of a little bit of an insult.
I know plenty of these.
Do you?
What's yours?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Like when somebody's like, oh, that's a great way to wear your hair. Or no, your hair looks great. To wear it that way.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like,
that looks good for you.
Yeah. Or like, that's a great shirt on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, no, I'm sorry, somebody said this about my goatee. I actually heard this about my goatee. Most people liked it. The one person that made the comment, this person was an idiot. They live in Syracuse. They're not there anymore. Kicked them out of the city. But I said, what do you think about my goatee? Because normally somebody would say something about it and there was nothing about it. And they said that would look good on someone else's face.
I'm self-conscious about my disability because I have to have a scooter and stuff like that. So sometimes people say things that they don't mean, and that hurts me a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Mainly because I just can't get up and run around and do these kind of things.
Who said it? We'll kill him right now.
Yeah. Let's go find him. Hunt him down.
That's mostly has to do with my disability.
Okay. I do feel like we get that a lot here. I'm just it's like backhanded compliments, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, so I know we're in rapid fire, but I have to ask you this. Mm-hmm. Is it really true that you guys get hit on every day?
Yeah. It's like an awkward question to answer because it's like a lose-lose no matter what you say.
But it's a question because
You're
it's like
protected, though, right?
What?
You're protected.
Yeah, they have good management.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The management's great.
Here or
No, yeah,
No.
they're great. They walk us to our cars. If we're uncomfortable, they're right on scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do sometimes feel like people come in here kind of as like practice or as like a release, you know, like someone who's never flirted with a girl before, they'll come in and they start
feel like slapping them upside
like,
the head.
It's funny. Sometimes it's cute. It's like, aw, like those are
Well,
pickup
you know the
lines.
difference,
From
though,
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your first one for me now that I put you on the hot seat?
Okay. If you had to get rid of a body part, what would it be?
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say a city. I was going to say Newark, New Jersey. It's such an easy remark for me. Oh, it's so easy.
That's a good question too, yeah.
If I was president of the United States, I'd get a giant saw and cut it into the ocean. I'd give it to France. I would. I'd be like, thank you for the Statue of Liberty that turned green because you didn't use good materials on it. Here's Newark. It's the same thing. You think it's silver, but it's going to turn green eventually.
Everyone's mad right now.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care what Newark thinks of me. So, if I had to get rid of a body part, oh man, what would I get rid of? If I had to get rid of a body part, what body part would I get rid of?
I know, that's a hard one, right?
That's a hell of a question.
Boy.
I'd get rid of my legs, that's for sure.
Would you?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, yeah, you could.
I'd want new legs, yeah.
I guess, wow. I guess I would pull a Michael Jackson and get rid of my nose.
Would you?
I would get rid of my nose. I don't want to get rid of my eyes or my ears.
Yeah.
But I get rid of my nose because you know what? Some people smell bad. And when you're at Disney, it's amazing how many people didn't take a shower that day. And there was a guy that was standing in front of me a couple days ago, and I wanted to get the deodorant out of my car and just give it to him and be like, you can have this from my heart to yours.
It is like that sometimes,
yes.
Honestly.
I feel like, how do you not know what you smell like?
Maybe if you're so used to smelling like that.
That you're immune to it?
Yeah, like you don't even realize that it's bad, that people don't like it.
Do you know who's not immune to that?
Who?
Me.
Yeah. Same. I actually carry deodorant everywhere. There's like one in my car, one at home, one in my purse.
I have one in my car right
yeah.
now. I have deodorant in my car because you're in Florida.
Yeah.
So you know you're going to sweat. So you just, you put a little bit on later in the day.
Yeah.
You bring cologne with you. Take care of business.
You know what else is the problem? And I made this mistake before too.
Okay.
Oh no, I shouldn't say that. There are some deodorants that don't work as well because they're like more natural and like no shade to
natural
anyone who
deodorant
uses
means
them.
not real deodorant. That's what it means. It means it's not real.
But like if it works for you, that's great. Don't get mad.
It doesn't work for anybody.
Yeah.
We're just kidding ourselves. Natural deodorant, just put on, just go to the bathroom and put soap on. I mean, do something.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's basically
That's what it is.
On.
I like Degree. Degree, if you want to sponsor the show, I like Degree.
Wow. Dove is like my favorite.
Dove's your go-to.
Yeah.
That's like for, I think that's like the #1 women's brand. It's got to be is Dove.
Yeah, I feel like everybody uses Dove.
Dove's a good one.
Dove's
All right.
a good one.
Final question for Papa Joe.
Oh, okay. Someone actually just asked me this question. If you had to only eat fruits or vegetables, which one would you pick? Like you could never eat fruit if you pick vegetables. You could never eat vegetables if you pick fruit. That's
included.
You'd pick vegetables. That was my answer too.
Really?
Yeah. Yours would be fruit.
Because I have a home economist back here.
You have what?
A home economist back here, my wife.
That's awesome.
Okay. What vegetables?
All vegetables.
All of them?
Like all of them. Like
Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, everything.
Do you eat Brussels sprouts? That's a no. Pauses and high inflections are no's.
Just exposing me all together. This is why I ran.
Sorry.
But yeah, I would have to pick vegetables. I
Okay.
mean, like everything, potatoes. Like, do you not want to eat vegetables?
I like sweet potatoes. I think a sweet potato is good with everything.
Yeah, I like regular potatoes better, but sweet potatoes are good.
All right, that's fine. Sweet potatoes matter. That's all I know. What's your last one for me?
All right, let me try and think of one more. All right, so I guess a similar question. If you could only have sweet snacks or salty snacks for the rest of your life, what would they be?
Oh man.
These are tough questions.
So I have to pick sweet or salty.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think I'm different with that. I think I would go salty because I love, and I had it in the car, but I finished it. I love a good Chex Mix.
Oh, Chex Mix.
I like Chex Mix, and I don't like Chex Mix. I don't like the sweet ones.
Yeah,
They're weird.
I don't either.
The honey, I like just a good old-fashioned traditional Chex Mix, and I bought it at the airport at JFK. I think it cost me $5, and it was this big.
Oh my God. It's ridiculous out there.
It is, but Chex Mix, I think it's got to be Chex Mix. So I'm gonna say salty.
Salty. Yeah.
Salty.
You know, I like ice cream too much to go with salty.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Probably a cookie dough, but I like to add a lot of stuff. So it would be strawberry if I can add a bunch of things to it. If not, then just cookie dough.
So I'm honestly, hand to God, my favorite is cookie dough.
Really?
And I love strawberry syrup.
Wow.
And nobody
You really-
uses that. Nobody uses strawberry syrup, so it's on the mark. So Crystal here with us today. Happy that you didn't run today and spend some time with us. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So here we're going to take our next step aside. When we come back, PJ, we got a little bit more to get to. We talked about the Jaguars, and thank goodness that Crystal interrupted us when we were talking about the offensive line.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to talk about the offensive line anymore.
No.
And the health of the offensive line.
Right.
Brandon Linder,
Right.
he's not as old as I thought he was.
Probably late 20s.
But I would think that Juwan Taylor, I would think with a new head coach in Urban Meyer,
Yeah.
if these 5 guys can't get it done, I don't think that they can make it out of this year. I don't think that you can keep Cam Robinson, Juwan Taylor. Well, they franchise tag Cam Robinson. I don't think you can keep this offensive line any longer if it doesn't work, or if they get hurt too much.
It's up to Meyer to find him.
It's been too many years.
That's his job. I don't know what he's got here. We got.
I will say they have more depth this year than they've had in the entire decade that I've covered them.
Stanford, that big
they have
guy.
Walker Little.
He's going to come in.
They brought back Tyler Shatley, who has been used all over it. But they actually have depth at every position now, which is good.
Right.
Finally.
Yes.
It's not the same name.
I forgot about Walker
after.
Little. He's really turned some heads so far this year.
Yeah. So with that being said, we'll take a step aside. This is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, live from iDrive, Hooters, Orlando, 8801 International Drive. Papa Joe sitting in, myself, Dan Tortora. We'll be back after this fast break, Florida in Focus Week, with college football and the NFL. We appreciate you so much for being here, and obviously coming out to Hooters.
I have to do my baseball.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpassnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Here at Progressive Dental, we understand the importance of regular dental visits and preventive care. Cleanings and checkups are essential to good oral health. We have multiple locations in the Southern Tier, so come visit us in Binghamton, Enwell, Kirkwood, Montrose, and Norwich. For self-pay non-insured patients, we offer the Smile Plan, which covers all of your cleanings, x-rays, and exams for an affordable yearly price. Call 607-754-2273 or 607-754-CARE to make an appointment today. For more information, visit our website at progressivedentalny.com.
The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you make your way out to the Millhouse Market today and every Tuesday through Sunday. They're open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Find your way out to the Millhouse and download their app so you can get everything at your fingertips, from their homemade breads and desserts to their salads, quinoa bowls, rice bowls, and their sandwiches named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski, ingrained in our community and ingrained in our taste buds. Make sure you make your way out to the Millhouse Market today. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, is definitely the place you need to head yourself out to. Located there is our Liverpool Warriors athletic program show every single month. And, of course, they're open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. So you can find them right down the road from Liverpool High School. And, of course, for takeout, delivery, and catering, you can call 315-622-5100 and go to myavicolis.com. And, of course, the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding. They have a glowing testimonial from Lily, and that's all you need. So Canine Camp Dog Daycare, 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse. And, of course, Canine Campground Dog Boarding on 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, right around the corner from the dog daycare. The daycare you can call at 315-437-7110 for more information, and the campground at 315-299-4013. PB&J's Lunchbox is the food truck of Central New York that you've been chasing around for months. Well, now they have a streetside cafe, so when you're jonesing for their food, you can now head out there to their new location on 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Served daily. You can get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you want. PB&J's Lunchbox. Try the award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly with the roasted pecans. And Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where I've trusted for almost a decade now. They will help you with injuries, any injury from head to toe. You can go there to 791 West Genesee Street in Skinny Atlas, located right by beautiful Skinny Atlas Lake, led by Dr. Mark Petropoli. They are a team of doctors that do something that so few people do. They listen, they care, and they bring you through the process, be it preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, or surgery. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics understands that your path to victory is one small step every single day. Thank you for what you've done for me, and thank you for what you've done for the community. They can help you today at 315-685-7544. Call 315-685-7544. We're back here inside of Hooters of iDrive. This is live from iDrive Week. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Florida in focus. You know, Florida is my second home. Love Florida so very much. And bringing you Florida in focus, there's no better place to do it than right here on International Drive at Hooters on 8801 International Drive in Orlando, Florida. Happy to be here with you all week. Papa Joe is my guest here today, as he's with me every Thursday in our normal schedule, and we're here from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're doing some bonus coverage here, as PJ always brings us his Major League Baseball rankings. So I hand it off to you, Papa Joe, to let us know what's going on in the world of baseball.
Well, let's start with the American League East, where Tampa Bay is still in control. Last year, I really tortured the Yankees because I thought they were playing lousy. They signed two guys at left-handed hitters that they didn't need.
Yeah.
They needed pitching, but I take my word back because New York is only 5 games back. Boston has lost 7 out of 8. They're 6 games back.
Yeah.
We got the Chicago White Sox in the Central Division. They're up by 10.5. No one's going to touch them. None of those teams are even going to get to the wild card.
Yeah.
You go to the American League West. Houston is still up front. You got the Oakland A's are 3 games back. Seattle's 5 games back. Look for the A's and Houston to battle it out for the rest of the year. At the National League East, Atlanta holding the lead there. You got Philadelphia's 4 games back. The Mets are 4.5 games back, which is the most competitive division in baseball right now. Milwaukee, my Milwaukee Brewers, of course.
Yes.
They're running away with things. They're up by 9.5 games over Cincinnati. Don't look for anything to change there. San Francisco, you've heard me the last couple of weeks, I've told you that the pennant is going to go through the National League West.
Yes.
San Francisco is up by 3 over LA. San Diego is out of it at 12. Or San Diego, which is a major, major disappointment this year. They're 12 games back. They had it made, and they blew it. They had some injuries for Fernando Tatis.
Yeah.
Not good at all. My rankings are this, the site that I use.
Yeah.
I flipped the Giants and the Dodgers around, mainly because the Giants have won 13 out of 16 games to take over the lead.
Yeah.
The Dodgers are second. They have all the pitching that's necessary. They got Cody Bellinger, who was on an MVP rate last year, been hurt this year, hasn't been playing well. Trey Turner came from the Washington Nationals in a trade. You got the Dodgers have got the best pitching with Walter Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, and Max Scherzer. There's a little story about Max Scherzer, knowing how intense he is. Dave Roberts is a really funny manager. He's a great guy. Everyone gets along with him.
Yeah.
So he's walking by Scherzer and gives him a little pat on the butt. Says, "Good way to go, Max." Max says, "Leave me alone." He says, "What?" Max kept on going. So Rogers, he goes and Roberts talks to the rest of the team. He says, "What's up with Scherzer?" He says, "You don't know about him?" He says, "When he's pitching, leave him the hell alone. Don't talk to him. Don't do anything to him. And most of all, don't go out to the mound."
Yeah.
That's funny. It is funny.
I like that. I like it.
Number 3, I got Tampa Bay. They keep amazing people with the style of play that they do. They don't have MVP players. They don't have the best pitchers. They continue to win. They play small ball and win. Houston is starting to roll now a little bit. They still got the best team there. You got Jose Altuve, Carlos Carrera, and Yanni Grandal. Those guys are leading the team in hitting. I got the Brewers at 5th.
Yep.
No one's going to touch them. They got 2 of the best pitchers in baseball, in Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff. Those guys are lights out. And, of course, they got the nastiest, filthiest left-handed reliever in baseball with Josh Hader. You do not want to get into the box against this guy. Number 6 is Chicago White Sox. I've told you all year long that they've surprised me. They continue to win. They have a good team, a good pitching, good hitting. However, they have the best manager they could probably get in Tony La Russa, who is a Hall of Fame manager and player. He's been in the game for 4 decades.
Yep.
He's in his mid-70s, and he's allowing these young kids to play ball. Number 7, I got the Oakland A's. Are doing what they're supposed to do. They're staying ahead of things. Unfortunately, their center fielder, Ramon Laureano, who was the best center fielder outside of Mike Trout, gets caught for steroids. He's got 80-game suspension. So they got Starling Marte from the Miami Marlins, and he's taken over in center field and done a good job. Number 8, I got the Boston Red Sox. They've done a heck of a job. Chris Sale has come back from his rotator cuff surgery. I think he allowed six hits, 1 run on his first start back. If he starts going, they start going. They got all the hitting with Rafael. They got Bogarts, Devers, J.D. Martinez, their best player. Those 3 guys are going to carry him hitting. 9, surprise. Big Yankees. I moved them up to 9.
Yeah.
They got the best pitcher in baseball, which is Garrett Cole. He's nasty. They got hitters galore. They got the 2 left-handers that they got via trade, Anthony Russo and Tony Gallo from Texas. Those guys are left-handed hitchers. And when you look at the right field porch in Yankee Stadium, you savor. I can't wait to get in there and hit again. Number 10, I got the San Diego Padres. They've been a major disappointment to me.
Okay.
They got good pitching. They had it with Blake Snell and Joe Musgrave. Fernando Tatis got hurt. He plays a heck of a shortstop, but he can't come back and play shortstop now, so they threw him in right field. So what does he do? The first game he gets back, he hits 2 home runs. That's the way it is. The Braves,
Yeah.
the Braves, power hitting team. Freddie Freeman was the MVP last year. He's on the same kind of pace this year to repeat. Look for him to carry the team. 12, I got the Toronto Blue Jays. That's about all I'm going to go because there's not much to say with the rest of these guys are 500 teams.
Yeah.
George Springer was a signer, signed down from Houston. Major pickup for them. They got Guerrera Jr.
Yeah.
and Bichette Jr.,
Yep.
who are sons of Major League Baseball players. They're hitting, but the pitching is really disappointed. So that's it, 1 through 12.
My most important question are, where are my Diamondbacks? 30? 30. They got to be 30. 30 for 30. That's what it is.
The Orioles were at 30.
That's the only 30 for 30 they'll ever get on ESPN, is that they should be 30th ranked right now.
Diamondbacks at 29.
Of course.
Baltimore at 30.
Okay.
That's
I don't
it
know
in a
why
nutshell.
Baltimore is considered worse than Arizona, because my
Because they're
Diamondbacks
30
are
games behind in the American League East.
my Diamondbacks are awful this year. But their rookie pitcher came out in his first game and had a no-hitter.
And a no-hitter.
So a
Did
shout
a
out
heck
to
of a
him for
job.
that.
There's hope for them yet.
Final notes, PJ? Final thoughts?
You know, Daniel and I are heavily involved with the Jaguars, and you know we live and breathe by what they do. I follow them all the time. Every day I get some reports out. Nothing really to talk about.
Yeah.
It's just Urban Meyer has got to figure this out. He knows what he's doing. He's got experience with men, young men. He certainly has experience. He can put it together. You got to speed things up. He's got to play fast. I remember me telling you guys a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, that the country is finally catching up with the way the SEC plays football. They play it fast. If the Big Ten can't play fast, they're not ever going to beat Alabama or Clemson. You got to play fast. Meyer has got to get them playing faster in order for Trevor Lawrence to get his reads. This kid's going to be a world beater, but he's got to protect him or he's going to kill him. They're going to kill him.
That coming from Papa Joe here as Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, live on location, live from iDrive Hooters on 8801 International Drive in Orlando, Florida. Here all week long, bringing you Florida in Focus football kickoff week for college football and the NFL. We got to pretty much everything today except for name, image, and likeness, but I've spent a lot of time on that. So the last thing I'm going to ask you, as Miss Mary is right over your shoulder, Florida State. The rivalry, is it still a rivalry to you? And it is in Gainesville this year.
It is a rivalry.
Okay.
It hasn't been the last 3 years because Florida State's fallen on hard times.
Yeah.
Florida definitely has the better team. They got the better coach.
Yeah.
Florida State, I've been really impressed this year by their recruiting. They are number 9 in the recruiting poll. Florida's 14. But you don't win the games in the recruiting. You win the games on the field. Mike Norvell has got to be able to keep Mackenzie Milton healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, one hit and the kid's gone. I'm telling you, it scares me to death, Daniel, for that kid to play football. But he's a tough kid. He's a hell of a quarterback when he was playing. He was outstanding. Love to watch him play. Actually, you turned me on to him, and I had to watch the next game on a Saturday. The kid's a hell of a player. I just don't think he's good enough to carry Florida State now. Florida State's still a couple years from being relevant.
That coming from Papa Joe right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We will see you for TGIF. Coming up here from Hooters, iDrive. Come out and see them all week long, 8801 International Drive in Orlando, Florida. Shout out to the entire team here, all of the girls, everybody that we got to have on today's show, and a big shout out to Bethany, as well as Rosita, Josephina, and Crystal, who joined us today. And you could see all of this on our social media at Wake Up Call DT on Facebook, at Call DT on Twitter, at Wake Up Call _DT on Instagram. And, of course, you can find us on wakeupcalldt.com and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. We'll see you.